The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Whenever I go to the gym and I see people with abs, it's like, why are you still here? You did it.
I don't know how to work out. I ordered the P90X videos. I thought I could do that. Never worked out a day in my life, so let's do what the Navy SEALs do.
Hiking is not exercise. Hiking is the segue between the actual exercise you did in your 20s and 30s and then the gentle mall walking that you're going to do in your 70s and 80s so that you'll fit into the tuxedo at the funeral home.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
Shoulder presses, lat pull downs, barbell curls, tricep extensions, squats, deadlifts, bent over rows, sit-ups, crunches, leg lifts.
Showtime!
And there's something. So happy to have everybody and all of y'all tuned in to our program, the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. She is Thursday. What do you have for us today, Josh? It's exercise day?
National Exercise Day.
I'm mostly opposed to exercise.
You don't believe in it?
That stuff will, really, it'll just kill you dead.
And I know that Dana and Ashley recently got gym memberships. Have you been going, or are you a gym owner's dream where you just pay and never show up?
Well, I've actually had a membership since I was like 18, but it's been four months consecutively now, 4 or 5 times a week.
So you've had it for, okay, I was told you just got it.
No, I've had one since I was 18. Shout out to Planet Fitness.
It'll kill you.
It will.
So you've had it since 18, Planet Fitness.
Yep.
So and you're 26 right now. Mm-hmm. So you've paid them, what, about $300? With how cheap it is?
I did get lucky not lucky. I worked there for a little bit. I did overnights. And so when I was doing that, I only worked maybe like once or twice a week, but I got a free gym membership, so even less.
Oh, that's pretty slick.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Actually, I was going to skip the gym today. I was thinking about it on my way in. I was like, I think I just want to go home and nap right away. But now that it's National Exercise Day, I feel like I have to go to the gym.
Don't be so annoying about it.
Just repel.
Did anyone else, did you guys
Fight
catch
the
that?
people.
Did you catch that? Hey, what do you do for a living? Well, I work overnights at a gym. Well, how many days a week do you go in? 1 or 2 nights a week? That was your gig for a while?
Yeah, it was my second job.
It was your second job?
Yeah.
Because for a second there, I thought, wow.
That's all I was doing.
Man.
Get like a $40 check.
I work 1 or 2 nights a week, overnights at a gym.
It's so piggy.
Now, did you recently get a gym membership, or was that fed to me incorrectly as well?
No, I recently got it about a month ago.
You did?
Planet Fitness as well. I started going back to the gym. It's much necessary.
Yeah, when are we going to start seeing some results?
Yeah, I don't know. I found out that when you work out at 38, it takes a lot longer to get back feeling like good about yourself and back into shape than it did when you're 18 or even 28.
Yeah.
I was telling you guys I just bought a little workout system, and the guys brought it to the house just earlier this week. And I had told them the truth. I bought the extra weight stack for them, so they would think this guy must be pretty strong for his size. It was just for show. I'll never need that much weight.
Have you been using it?
I have not. No. Not even once.
What about a National Exercise Day?
No. Not planning on using that.
Well, you hit the treadmill.
I did treadmill every day.
Yeah,
but nothing that's going to rock anyone's world. No, my treadmill barely works. The incline doesn't work anymore. It doesn't go above 4. So it's not. This thing's falling apart.
You're not doing high intensity interval training on that thing.
No, and it's getting louder and louder, and it rumbles. I get shocked constantly.
Is this thing going to explode on me?
It could.
My parents have one of those treadmills, and when I lived with them during my divorce, so like 2.5 years ago, I decided to hop on it for a couple minutes, and I thought that this is how I'm going to die. That thing exactly what you were describing, Josh. Just loud and rumbly and very scary.
People are texting in saying they've already hit the gym.
Oh, wow.
This person said, already done, brah. Sleds, weighted chin-ups, weighted dips.
Oh.
Already done,
day.
meaning he's already been in and out of the joint and it's 5:45 in the stinking AM?
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh, I'd love to be able to go early in the morning like this.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Moose the Mold Tech Jesus is a little disappointed. He said, damn, I thought you said it's National Extra Fries Day, not Exercise Day.
One of my old buddies is one of those guys where if he starts work at 7 o'clock in the morning, he's got himself checked in at the gym at 5:30. I don't get it. Like I said, you ought to be careful. It's dangerous. My doctor scared me into doing a couple of exercises here and there. He's always on my case about that kind of thing. But overall, I think it does more harm than good, in my opinion.
I do Kegels every day.
Smart.
I make sure and get a couple of sets
Smart.
in.
You're very smart.
Have you ever worked out at a gym, Wapple?
Yeah, once or twice.
How'd you feel about it?
Not good. pretty boring.
It is really boring.
I mean, and most folks don't have the time for that kind of thing either.
Yeah, it was back when I was in high school, and I'm like, I guess I'll try this YMCA thing for a little bit. And I went for like 2 weeks.
You said, nope, never again.
Yeah, and then, of course, we had to have like weight training or something in school. God, that sucked.
Yeah.
We never had that. We didn't have a gym. We didn't ever, like a gym with weights and stuff.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, never had that.
Yeah, that shows you how much of a man you are in high school. You can't even lift the bar.
Wapple, none of that stuff matters to anybody. Don't worry about it. That was a class that almost had me repeat my senior year.
Weight training?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of factors that almost had me repeat my senior year just because I was a horrible, horrible student, and in a lot of cases, I just wouldn't go to class. But it was weight training. The teacher who ran weight training was a really cool dude. I mean, he was, if you were a guy at my high school, this was the teacher you wanted because he was kind of a bro, you know what I mean? And he would give us dudes all the breaks in the world. Very lackadaisical about getting there on time and things like that. That was who he was, and that was his reputation, and I knew him already. And here comes my senior year, and the last quarter or trimester or however it played out back then, the last quarter of my senior year, there was weight training on my list of classes. So I remember day one, I peeked my head into, knowing that this cool-ass teacher was running the damn thing, I peeked my head into the gym, the weight room, and there was nobody in there. And I assumed, well, it's dude. He doesn't even care if we show up. And I talked to a couple other guys in the class. Are you going to go to that class? Nah, I mean, I'll check in once in a while. See, so my mindset was, this dude's not even going to check to see if we show up. He's that cool, right? So I never showed up once for the class. Not once. I never went, and I assumed, well, he's going to pass me because he's that cool teacher. And again, I gave myself a false sense of security that no one else was really showing up for this class. So I think it was 2 days maybe before our final day of school, and I run into dude in the hallway, the teacher. And he says, hey, I'm glad I ran into you. By the way, I'm failing you for weight training. And of course, 18-year-old, naive, arrogant me, I said, what? Why?
For what?
And he said, you never showed up once. And I said, well, nobody showed up, did they? And he goes, well, I had some problems with attendance for that class. Yes, but you never showed up once. How can I give you a credit? And I said, dude, you have to give me a credit for this. And this was a true story. I said, if you don't give me a credit, I can't graduate. And that's how up against the wall I was. And I said, please give me a D-, give me a whatever. I need it. And he did. Had he not, I would have been, I don't know if I would have had to repeat my entire senior year, but I know I wouldn't have walked at the graduation thing.
Uh-huh. I mean, that would have sucked.
It just by chance, I passed a sumbitch in the hallway. At any rate, National Exercise Day. Some of yous are all gung-ho about it. You hear Ashley and Dana, they're all pumping weights and this and that. Let's say you're the type that doesn't enjoy exercising, like most of us.
Hello.
Right.
Wapple has entered the conversation.
You don't want to sign up for a gym. You don't want to commit your time to that kind of a thing. I did, as we were messing around, horsing around, getting ready for the show, I did run into an article here, ways to exercise without realizing it. So grown folks, you don't want to go to the gym and all that. You just want to do something that makes you feel like you're not a complete waste of space. Exercise that doesn't feel like exercise. Now, bear with me here because I didn't have the time to formally print all this out. I'm just actively scrolling this website. But fidgeting is in there, and I'm sure you've heard those stories before. If you've got the active leg and you're fidgeting around, apparently it does you some amount of good. I don't know exactly what, but it does you some amount of good.
I'm a fidgeter, and I've heard that before.
I am too.
I'm doing it right now.
I get the wiggly leg. Absolutely. I enjoy it. I actually enjoy fidgeting. I'm aware of it, and I enjoy it, and it's not going anywhere. Some of this stuff is, walking. But I'm trying to pick out the more interesting stuff. Live action role playing.
Heck yeah.
Makes this list of ways you can exercise and you don't realize it. You're not one of these stiffs hanging out at a gym all day. Live action role play. You sign up for one of these clubs where you sword fight and you reenact the Civil War, whatever the hell.
Well, I think I would realize that that's exercising because when I did, I can't remember off the top of my head, when I was able to pretend to be like a knight that one morning.
What?
What would? Dana,
you were like the Renaissance, like sword fighting. Yeah, Viking fighting.
Yeah, Viking fighting.
At the place in Egan?
Yeah.
Yes, that was a workout.
Those swords look heavy.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so maybe the verbiage there. I mean, of course, you're going to realize what they mean is just out of the ordinary exercise.
Okay,
so
different
you're not
than running.
Well, some on the list are just fun. I think this was under the category of having fun.
Just having fun. Right. Sure, of course, you're going to, oh, God, I'm breathing. Yes, you're going to realize it.
I was sweating.
Just you're not locked in a gym with some steroid tiger staring at you because you're wearing spandex. Whatever wording helps. But dancing. Just up and dance.
Yeah. I've worked up a sweat on a wedding dance floor or two in my day.
Oh, yeah.
You work up a sweat sitting in that chair.
Yeah, I was going to say, I brush my teeth and I start sweating, so.
I feel you.
Oh, dude, you just painted a picture for me. It brings back memories of drunken, asinine, out-of-control wedding receptions where, I mean, you and your friends are just animals, right?
Yeah.
There was always a couple people who just sweat bullets out there. Yeah. It's just horrible. They've ruined the nice shirt.
Yeah.
God.
It's now on the top of their head.
Oh, yeah. One guy ties his tie around his...
I had a buddy in a gray suit once, and he managed to sweat through like the shirt, the dress shirt, and then the sport coat as well that was over. He could see the pit stains on his gray suit coat.
And you can smell the booze just pouring out.
Yeah.
Let's say you screwed up and you had a kid or two. Roughhousing with your kids is a fun, out-of-the-ordinary way that you can actually get some exercise, right?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
Sure. What is that you do, Cubby? Knee hockey.
Yeah, knee hockey. That one will get me. Also, I like to surprise attack my son probably 3 times a week. Where he doesn't see it coming, and then wrestling, and that takes a lot out of me. And just the process of having kids, sexual intercourse, amorous congress, you can exert some energy doing that, especially when you're younger. Mm-hmm. Now I don't put in much of an effort, nor does my wife. But, back in the day, sure, you'd really go for it. Maybe even like 2 positions in a session.
Whoa!
You know what I'm saying?
2 whole positions.
Maybe even 2 times in one day.
That was about the only sweat I ever cut for about a 15-year period was slutting it up around town. Absolutely. And they say you can burn calories and all that stuff. This is the one on the list that I enjoy the most hearing about, a way you can get exercise without being one of those gym dorks. Papa! Martial arts, dude.
Oh.
I've thought about trying that.
I wish I would have gotten dialed into that when I was about 7, so I could have been that creepy kid in my junior high that wore his gi to school, and just kind of eyeballed everyone from a dark corner of the assembly hall or whatever. I wish I would have been that kid.
Jiu-jitsu is super pop. You could get into that now. A lot of adults are jumping into jiu-jitsu.
And my niece just started martial arts. I feel like that's a perfect excuse for me to take an adult classes. I can phrase like, "Oh, I'm doing it so I can bond with my niece."
Yeah.
One of the most embarrassing parts of my life that I still look back and shiver revolves around martial arts. My stepdaughter wanted to get into it when she was very little. And so there's a karate place by us, and I went and talked to the sensei, and he's like, "Hey, I always like to ask the parents, why are you getting your child into this?" And she was about 5, and I'm like, well, I'd like her to be able to beat off any guy that even comes near her. And then we both locked eyes for a couple of seconds, and I said, that did not come out anywhere near how I meant it.
I'm now going to go to the dojo down the street, sir, so we never have to see each other again.
We will be moving on to Taekwondo at a different place.
See, you know these things, Josh, because of your son. So you tell me that adults are getting involved in jiu-jitsu, which is a dirty word in the Bourne family. And I'll explain that to you some other time. Don't you ever approach my brother and say jiu-jitsu. I'm just warning you. And I'll tell you the story some other time. We don't have time for it right now. But jiu-jitsu, is that more where I pull your arm behind your back and make you thumb yourself? Is it more like wrestling and wrist bending?
Yeah, submission type stuff.
See, I want to pop somebody's. You know what I'm
there's no punching that I've seen.
Then I have no interest in
And
you.
I can tell you this, so you're watching, especially when you watch the adult, there's the place that we went to, Minnesota Top Team, awesome place. There's the adults and then the kids, they go on separate mats, obviously. And so I'd watch some of the adults, and it's just very intimate at times, where your face is in places that you really don't want your face, even with your significant other, much less a complete stranger.
Yeah, see, that's why. So I don't want to do jiu-jitsu. That's the same reason why when I was a kid, my dad wanted me to sign up for wrestling, and I didn't want to do wrestling because I didn't want to be teabagged day in day.
And every wrestler I knew had ringworm.
Oh yeah,
You seriously.
So I want to get into punching and kicking someone's face right off of their effing neck. That's what I want to get into. So is that karate?
Yeah, karate, they did a lot of kicking and breaking of boards.
Yeah, I want to break a board.
And if you watch Cobra Kai, you're going to get involved in a big rivalry with other high schools and other dojos.
That show got a little ridiculous.
It really did.
It should just be all about Johnny Lawrence, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about more fun, out of the ordinary ways a grown person can get some exercise as opposed to all this silliness that you see at gyms and whatnot.
Hey, Jiu-Jitsu Jesus just checked in.
Okay.
Yeah, so, Jiu-Jitsu Jesus, let us know. How many crotches has your face been in the process of putting someone in a rear naked choke or something?
So they mention sex. Okay, go ahead and get some. And that we just mentioned that a minute ago. Clean the house.
Oh, yeah. That is a workout.
Do a little cleaning. Get a broom in one hand and a vacuum in the other, and you'll get a little... This is ridiculous. In this article, they recommend that grown folks try to do a handstand. What, do you want me to separate my shoulder and fall onto the kitchen floor? And
I saw a buddy almost go through a window doing something like that. He hit that window so hard, I have no idea how it didn't shatter.
I don't think grown folks should try to do handstands. You're going to dislocate your elbow, and you'll hit your head on the kitchen floor, and you'll starve to death because your family is out of town.
There's this dude at my gym that constantly does like walking handstands in like the middle of the gym. It's like he's waiting for somebody to be like, "Oh, dude, how do you do that? That's so cool."
Right,
Stop
of course.
doing that.
Mm-hmm. When he leaves the gym, he puts a parrot on his shoulder, gets on a really tall bicycle, and rides around the lake.
Yep.
Parkour. God, I remember when people wouldn't shut up about parkour.
If I'm walking on a sidewalk and I'll just like hop off the curb, I'm saying parkour every time.
That does not sound like something for adults to do. I mean, the gist of the article is exercising and you don't realize you're just having fun. Parkour, that's not for grown folks.
I wonder how much that episode of The Office got people into parkour.
Exactly.
I'm not
jumping off off the couch.
I'm not John Morrison, okay? I'm not. What does he go by these days, Wapple? John Morrison, Johnny Nitro. You know who I'm talking about.
I forgot what he goes by.
Adult gymnastics. I don't know. They do some somersaults and whatnot. I'm not sure what the hell.
Some of those gymnasts are ripped. Absolutely ripped.
Oh, yeah, you have to have
gymnastics?
really...
Yeah, some of the dudes that do stuff like, the women too, but especially the dudes, absolutely ripped.
The upper body is insane.
Massive.
Yeah, again, with my stepdaughter, she did that too, and then they'd have some of the adults, and those dudes were, like, totally cut.
All right, another suggestion here. Go ahead and buy one of those gaming systems where you're up on your feet. The Wii or whatever it is.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Sure.
That was one.
I've worked up a sweat doing Dance Dance Revolution.
Are those still around? You can still find those systems where you're up on your feet swinging a fake baseball bat and whatnot?
Not really, no.
That came
I don't
in.
think there's any new ones, no.
This sounds like a good way to get the cops called on you as a grown person. As suggested here in the article, you go play on a playground.
I've seen that as well. Adults doing pull-ups and stuff on the monkey bars.
Get your ass away from the playground.
There was a Roddy Piper movie where there's a training montage of him doing like pull-ups on the playground.
If you're a grown person wearing Umbros and a tank top and you're exercising at the playground, I'm going to call the cops. Hey, play a musical instrument.
It looks like the...
Do you know what song you just sang?
In the Mood?
I thought...
I know, I don't know.
Yeah, shoot. I was thinking The Entertainer, but you're right. I bet that is In the Mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play a musical instrument. Get out the tuba.
Drums look exhausting. Are they tiresome, Nick?
They are. Well, I haven't tried it in a long time. I gave my drum set away to Cubby.
Yeah, for a while I was playing. I haven't played it in a little bit, but I was playing every single day.
I'll tell you, the last few years,
playing poorly every single day.
The last few years that I had a drum set, it cooked me. It cooked me pretty good.
That's why drummers always have their shirts off. They're just sweating up a storm.
My three favorite songs to drum to towards the end of, before I gave the kid away, again, on the topic of if you really want to work out, it was when I would drum to Livewire by Motley Crue. That'll get you. It's not the most difficult song in the world to drum, but Josh, I really love to drum along to Oh Sherry by Steve Perry, just simply because it's one of the greatest pop songs ever created.
I love that song.
And then I know Wapple, don't judge me, because I was doing the Guns N' Roses version of Mama Kin by Aerosmith. That got me. Play a musical instrument. Ride a bicycle to work.
No.
I wish I lived close enough to ride a bike to work. I've been wanting to get a bike the last few years.
I know a guy who rides a bike to work. It's not for exercise.
The state took away his license.
Oh, yeah.
For some poor choices he made.
Oh, yeah. And he won't take his medicine. The judge said, look, dude, we'll give you back your driver's license. You just got to go through treatment or do some time in the workhouse. Once you do that, we'll give you your license back. And he said, no, thanks. And he went and bought a big, fat tire bicycle. He's 52 years old. All year round, he rides that stupid thing to work.
Oh, man.
And he acts like he won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
I pulled one over on the state.
All right, here's more little creepiness here to this article on how grown folks can get exercise without being, all serious about it. Play a childhood game. Capture the flag. Kick the can. Tag. That's too weird.
You just see a field of old people playing kick the can or capture the flag.
Jesus, get the paramedics on alert. You know what I mean?
Well, Wapple, do you still do paintball type stuff?
No, I haven't for years.
I'd imagine running around in the woods or whatever you're doing would...
Yeah, a lot of that... towards my time, changed into airsoft because that was a lot cheaper. It was so expensive paying for paintballs and then CO2.
Oh, I suppose.
Hey, Josh, here's another way you can get some exercise if you're an adult now and you don't want to be all dorky about it. This one, This one cracks me up. Park at the far end of the parking lot. Hey, there's a spot. No.
We're going to get our steps in.
No, we're not parked. Take the stairs instead of one of those exercise. What do they call those things?
Elevators.
Or escalator.
Build something or another at the house. Go for a walk while you're on the phone. Hello?
I'm a pacer.
Sorry,
me too.
I get
Sorry
made fun
if
of
it's
that.
a little windy in the background. I'm on a walk. Yes, how can I help you?
I don't know what it is. I can't sit down and be on the phone. The car's the only place.
Why can't you sit down when you're on the phone?
I don't know. I pace.
The exact same way.
I get made fun of for that a lot.
Yep.
Are you nervous when you're on the telephone?
I don't know if it's nerves or what it is, but it's just this weird deal where I, for whatever reason, can't just sit there. Maybe I feel like I need to be more engaged in a conversation. If I'm sitting there, I'm feeling lazy. I don't know.
I make fun of my boyfriend for doing that all the time because he'll be sitting on the couch and answer a phone call and go out of his way to stand up and pace in the living room. I'm like,
That's
dude,
what I do.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You can sit.
My fiance was like, you just got 3 miles of steps in during that phone conversation the way you were pacing.
I think you guys are just nervous.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
Generally speaking.
I don't feel nervous, but maybe that's just down there. It's in there somewhere.
All right, here's a final here for you. Grown folks, get a little exercise without, being all... Again, get the paramedics woken up and get the ambulance started. Because they're recommending that grown folks climb a tree.
I didn't know.
Oh, man, I could see your old high school buddy coming off that top branch and just landing on the ground. And
You got to call the fire department.
That's the thing. Some of these, like, I want to look ahead to when, the ambulance shows up, how stupid I'm going to feel. Some of these, I'd feel pretty dumb. How'd you hurt yourself? Well, I was trying to handstand.
I
right.
was climbing this tree, you see.
I thought I just recently turned 49. I might as well try my first handstand.
God, I bet your forearms would just crack right in the center and you'd just go down.
One thing they had on the list is the floor is lava. I'm glad I have a kid to have an excuse to play this game because that is pretty fun.
So fun. It gets intense.
Is that show still on? The floor is lava. It probably didn't last too long.
Yeah, it was on Netflix. I don't know if they ever did a second season or not.
How is swimming not on that list?
I don't know.
That's a good one.
Climb a tree is?
I don't know. Maybe swimming sucks. Maybe they just decided maybe they're taking a stance against swimming. Because swimming it's too much. I think swimming might be too much for most folks.
That's what the old people always do.
Mm-hmm.
That's their whole thing.
Well, they stand in the shallow end and kind of wag their arms around.
Kind of bounce around.
Like real deal swimming, that'll kill you.
That is exhausting.
Yeah.
More anxiety than hair, Jesus said. Whenever he gets a phone call, he gets exercise by picking the phone up and then using his thumb to hit the ignore button.
Man, I remember many, many years ago, there was a family living next door to me and they had some young kids. And there was a big, fat-ass tree between our two properties. And one of the kids, I'm going to take, I'm terrible at this. I'm going to take a stab and say the kid was like 9 years old. He loved to climb up and down this big, fat-ass tree, and he was good at it. And I remember one day, I just happened to be peering out the window, and I look up, and there's that 9-year-old kid way the hell up in that tree, and he fell. Oh. And I'm not kidding you. It took him this is how high up he was. It took him so long to hit the ground that I had time to go, oh! I mean, I had time to shout, ah! As he hit the ground. I mean, the sound of him hitting the ground was unbelievable. And I thought, well, he's dead, right? The kid got up. He kind of straightens out his hairdo. He brushes the dirt off himself. He walks in the house.
Okay,
kids are pretty resilient.
Awesome. Oh my gosh.
No, I didn't continue to look out the window to see if, I don't know if he dropped dead when I probably would have heard about it I never saw an ambulance. I never heard his mother scream. I don't know. This kid, he bounced when he hit the ground.
That's crazy.
He got up like he just tripped and fell. Just, Christ almighty, I can't believe it. He goes inside and had some, SpaghettiOs.
Oh, yum. Magic playing machinist Jesus looked up why people pace when on the phone.
Oh, wow. Oh.
According to psychologists, they say it's to make up for the lack of body language and nonverbal cues that normally happen in face-to-face conversations.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, I really think for me, it's just that I feel like I'm paying more attention to the conversation. I don't know.
I feel like I got exercise just having this conversation. I really do. Maybe that's subconscious or something like that. That's interesting stuff, Josh.
Oh, yeah, a few people are checking in saying the same thing. Medical Device Jesus said, do you make hand expressions on the phone? Yes, I do.
Okay.
Usually it's a jerking off motion when somebody is telling me something stupid.
The entire time you're talking to me on the phone, like, God, this guy shut the hell
up. Here we go.
Yeah, it's either the stroke motion or the yap, 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 yap. Here we go. It's Thursday. What a terrific crowd you are. We're going to take a break, but I promise we'll swing back around here in a minute on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
Our house is a mess. Come on in. I'm Amber Wallen, internet comedian and host of your new favorite podcast, Fly on the Wall.
Okay, that's pretty presumptuous to assume that this is going to be their favorite podcast, by the way.
Anyway, that wasp that you just heard interrupt me is my husband.
And co-host, Benjamin Wallen.
Listen in as we discuss relationships and keeping our sweet baby kid alive.
Fly on the Wallen, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right. For starters here, for today's stupid news, this normally goes without saying, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. You can't just up and wheelchair the carcass of a dead man into your local bank. You just can't. I mean, even if you think that the carcass gives you a better shot at landing that big loan from the bank. I know most of you don't need to be told such things, but a lady in Brazil wasn't aware of these unwritten rules in life. The Brazilian lady, who is clearly dangerously insane, she wheeled the body of her dead uncle into her local bank to try and take out a loan in his name. The video, of course, the bank security cameras have it all on tape. This is really disturbing to watch.
It's sickening.
It is.
Watching her just move this lifeless body around, holding his head up, grabbing his hand.
The name of the dangerous lunatic lady is Erica de Souza, this and that, whatever. In the video, she's speaking to a bank teller at the counter there, like you might see at the... She claims to be the guy's niece and primary caregiver. She tries to force her dead uncle to sign paperwork with his limp, dead hand.
Oh, my God.
She talks to her uncle, asking him if he can hear her. She's telling him to sign the papers for the loan. He's deader than disco. When the bank teller notices that this is a damn dead body she's trying to play, puppeteer with, the crazy lady says, oh, he's just quiet by nature.
So it's a lot funnier when it was called Weekend at Bernie's.
She tries to hold his skull up straight to make it look like he's a living thing, but the dead head and neck, of course, is just swinging around limp like a damn rag.
Oh, that is a really disturbing video.
Yeah,
Are you watching it?
It's worse than you think it's going to be.
Yeah, that makes my stomach hurt.
I almost barfed with the head thing. That was sick.
Dude, this is really effing wrong, lady.
Yeah,
Steelers fan Jesus said, well, maybe she was applying for a mortgage.
Man, all right. I feel better now. Thank you.
You know what? I needed that, Steelers fan Jesus. Thank you.
You'd have to be a certifiable maniac to go through with something like this or to believe that anyone was going to buy it. Employees at the bank called the police. They arrested Erica, the crazy lady. Her uncle went by the name of Paulo Braga, and the cops think he'd only been dead for a few hours before his disrespectful niece, if it really is his niece, wheeled him into the bank. And this gal might be charged, well, she will be charged with theft through fraud, embezzlement, abuse of a corpse. And the cops are also trying to figure out how the guy died and if this Erica lady or members of his family might have killed the poor bastard.
Jeez.
It's gross. The video is gross.
Yeah, it is.
He's dead. And his head and neck are just, wow. Trying to prop
Just the disrespect, too.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, really.
Come on.
If you guys are going to use my dead body as a prop for something, take me someplace cooler than the bank. Like, put me on a roller coaster or something.
I can do that.
Oh, no. I think we'd put you in a very compromising position. You ever heard of autoerotic asphyxiation? Because that's how we're going to make it look like you died.
And then you tell everybody.
Now, the zombie uncle bank loan story is similar to something we discussed last month. I don't remember this. Maybe I will as we go along here now. A dead man's body was driven to a bank in Ohio and used to withdraw monies. 2 women propped up the dude in the car. It was their roommate. Did I mention that already? These 2 women propped up their dead roommate's body in the car, made a bank withdrawal from his account. The 2 women from Ohio were charged last week. Okay, so we talked about it last month. They've officially been charged now with theft and gross abuse of a corpse. Oh, I remember this now. They found the guy laying there full on dead at the apartment that they shared. He was 80 years old. Yes, now I recall. With the help of a third person, they put the carcass in his car and drove it to... Now they're driving his car. Drove it to the bank drive-through setup. The dead fellow was placed in the vehicle in such a manner that he would be visible to bank staff in order to make the withdrawal. And after leaving the bank, the women's then dropped the corpse off at the emergency room without saying Dick Tracy about it. Disrespectful, again, is the word that comes to mind. Sleazy, disgusting.
Very sleazy. Mouse and Jesus said that's why he tries to keep a low credit score, so you can't use his corpse to get loans.
Yeah, good try.
That's why.
You're getting denied.
Yeah, that is good estate planning right there.
You're not getting anything out of me after I'm dead. All right. Yeah. If you want to have nightmares, watch that friggin' video of the gal at the bank. She's got a lifeless look in her eyes, doesn't she, Josh?
She does.
Because she's insane.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much there behind those eyes, does it?
Right. Of course, you're going to be fixated on the dead man in the wheelchair. There's no doubt, and who could blame you for that? But take a look into this lady's eyes when her face looks into the camera. Got lifeless eyes like a doll's eyes. Because she's insane. Here we go. Another effing numbskull fell for the Rent-A-Hitman website setup.
It's amazing people still fall for this.
I love that they do, but you're right. It is amazing.
This time it's a mother of 3 from over there in Idaho. A gal, she's called Deanne Parkin. She's 31 years old. She's going to be going away to prison for more than 7 years, it sounds like, for this move that she made. She contacted rentahitman.com, a year ago. to try and pay someone to kill the gal that's currently living with her ex-husband.
Let it go.
She admitted that she went to the Rent a Hitman website. She thought it was legit. She says the gal living with her ex-husband had an affair with him and wrecked her family. She also accused the lady of drug abuse and said she was a hooker. I can just hear her yelling at her ex-husband, "Have fun with your dirty drug addict hooker."
Yep.
Have fun.
Hope someone doesn't murder you.
So Deanne, she tapped into the Rent a Hitman deal, and she said she wanted her husband's new action to, quote, disappear completely where no one hears from her again. Someone tipped off the cops. Maybe it was a dude we talked to. I don't know.
Yeah, just in February. Bob Inez, was that his name?
No idea.
That sounds right.
We just talked to the guy. I mean, they've been writing articles about this for years on people who... do they not have internet access? Just don't pay attention to anything going on? Like, major publications have written about how many people get... I was going to say scammed. They're not scammed. How many people fall for it? It's a parody website.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weekly, it seems like, too.
And it's very obviously a parody website. Like, they don't really hide the fact
They make plenty of jokes on it.
Uh-huh.
So, someone tipped off the cops that this lady was on Rent a Hitman looking for a killer. An undercover cop got a hold of this lady, Deanne, and they started jaw-jacking about killing the other gal. At one point, Deanne said to the undercover cop, "I can't have this get back to the cops or no one. I can't lose my kids." Well, look at you now. She told the undercover cop that it'd be fine with her if the murder was made to look like a suicide. She said, "Whatever's easiest. If you want to make it look like a suicide." She is a prostitute. Boy, she never gets tired of that line, does she? She's a dirty hooker. Have fun with your dirty hooker. Deanne put up $100 in cash and then tried to use a diamond ring as part of the payment. So put another name on the board, fellas. Someone else fell for rentahitman.com. Like we said, a website that very clearly states that it's a damn joke. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like Josh said, there's articles all over the place saying this and that.
And just the fact you'd think that website would exist shows you're a bit of a moron.
Yes, absolutely. You think it's that easy?
Yeah, you wouldn't think like, wow, this is just like ordering a pizza, just more expensive.
That's a good point.
Although,
what an idiot.
I'm not fat, I'm aerodynamic, Jesus said he just hired a prostitute at notapolicewebsite.com. Think I'm safe, he asked? Oh, yeah, it says right in the title it's not a police website.
It'd be better if it was .org.
It is a beautiful thing.
Or .gov would be the best.
I just saw that.
If, how terrifying would that be, right? You find out somebody's actively trying to have you killed. But there would be a sense of satisfaction knowing they owned themselves by going to this website.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
And I feel a little safer that they're that dumb.
Yeah, a little scary, but then you're reassured by the fact that they were stupid enough to swing by Rent a Hitman.
Cracking Skulls Jesus says, I can't imagine why this guy would ever want to cheat on her in the first place.
That's great. And I'm sure we can count on more Rent a Hitman adventures in the future. It ain't over yet. We can count on more in the future. Just like we've been able to count on gong shows like this here next story for years already. This is a story, a situation that we've been enjoying for years already. One of the all-time great ways to totally F yourself. A gal from Indiana. She's in trouble with John Law. She called 911 to bitch about how she bought a pile of meth rocks, and the stuff is no good. She wanted to file charges against her drug dealer. Sarah Harris, 34-year-old gal. She is named Sarah Harris. She twice made a telephone call to the police about her below-average meth. And when the cops came over to see her, Sarah told them that the meth made her feel like she was going to have a heart attack. She said she snorted a line, and it was just no damn good.
Darn.
She reminisced with police about how she and a friend had recently, quote, smoked a bowl of normal meth.
Oh.
That was the good meth, she said. This new garbage is no good. And she wanted the rocks to be tested by the cops, and then they ought to go arrest the drug dealer right away.
We weren't going to arrest him for the meth, but now that we know he has bad meth, yes, he's going to jail.
Whether it was any good or not didn't matter to the cops. The meth was still meth. And little old Sarah, she's looking at some prison time. Man.
You know, we say it a lot. Sometimes it would be fun to be a cop. And you have to look around like, all right, who's pranking me?
Yeah.
I know I'm the new guy, but I'm not falling for this. Nobody's this dumb.
Does one of the other guys set me up on this one? Is this a joke?
I dig that. This meth is awful. Try it. Seriously, try it. It's terrible. All right, look out for this effing guy, ladies. A dude in South Korea filed a missing persons report on his girlfriend because she wasn't returning his telephone calls.
It's not that serious.
I mean, you want your partner to miss you, right? But not that damn much.
Yeah, it's frightening.
How long would your guys' significant others have to go without reaching out to you for you to go that route?
6 years.
Wow.
Interesting question.
Yeah. There was a time where my ex said she considered calling the police because she was worried about my safety because I was gone for so long. I went to go buy something from a guy on Craigslist, some video games. Ended up talking to the guy. We ended up playing video games together for like a couple hours. And she was already nervous about me going to go meet up with a random dude at his house to buy things off Craigslist.
Yeah.
So when I wasn't answering my phone or not, responding, she legit thought I was dead. I got hacked away by some Craigslist weirdo.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
That's a different circumstance.
That is,
than
yeah,
just
for sure.
Not hearing from him. I don't know. I mean, because
it's normal to get a little nervous these days. The world's totally out of control, and we're so used to now over the last 10, 15 years now, we're so used to being, unfortunately, in constant communication with each other. And I guess I shouldn't say that. It's so easy to get a hold of each other now.
Yeah.
I know couples who they know where they are by the phone, the Track My Person apps or whatever those are.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend share a location with
Share
each
the
other.
location, yeah, that's what it's called.
What a bunch of suckers. Share your location constantly. There's no way I would ever agree to where my significant other would have to know where I am at all times.
You can just pull up the phone and see where you're at.
That is not living.
It's definitely just a safety concern on my behalf.
No, that makes sense.
But I think it would, for me personally, it would, after a day, I'd be worried. And not even a full 24 hours. Like from the time I wake up, get home, I don't hear from him by the time he's supposed to be home from work, I'm going to start getting nervous. I'm calling his mom for sure. I don't know about the police yet, but definitely mom's getting a phone call.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you call coworkers, family members.
Like, hey, is he alive?
Brothels.
The old days were so, and the old days were so great. And I know some of you are saying, "Oh, here we go with the old days again." But it really is true. There was something so beautiful about being 16 years old and calling your mom at 10 o'clock on a Friday night and saying, "Yeah, Mom, I'm not going to make it home tonight." And she says, "Well, why?" "I'm going to Donnie's for a sleepover." And the truth is, I'm on a street corner in Duluth smoking pot with a stranger. You know what I mean? And she has no idea. She has no idea that I'm in Duluth for the weekend.
That was nice.
God, those were the great days.
You know, Dana, we've come to know you so well, it didn't even register, but people are saying, how come you're not calling out Dana on how weird that is that he played video games with a complete stranger he met on Craigslist? You're right, that is weird, but it didn't occur to me because we know your personality so well.
It doesn't even crack the top 10 weirdest things about me list, probably.
No.
Just for the record, Dana. It occurred to me to attack that, but I'd heard the story before, so yeah. This guy, where were we? The guy, where was he? China? It doesn't matter. He, South Korea.
This is Korea, yeah.
He filed a missing persons report on his girlfriend because she wasn't returning his phone calls. This sad-ass sumbitch is 60-some years old acting like that. Dude reported that his girlfriend is missing. The cops, of course, took it seriously. They found her within 2 hours. You can't just up and do something like that.
I was shopping.
The girlfriend, she's probably used to this kind of nonsense, and Dinkus is probably going to go do 30 days in the hole.
What an idiot.
Can't do that.
That's a good way to freak someone out if you're that possessive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're out there. Piano mover Jesus has texted into the show. He said, the only location I track is my dad's. He's 76 years old, so I need to keep tabs on him. He says, my wife can take care of herself.
I share my location with a couple of my friends, too.
That's pretty common with young people, I've noticed.
Yeah, I think, I've got 7 different people I share location with. I can't get my dad to share his location back with me, though.
That's because he's got cool stuff going on that his family doesn't need to know about.
Yeah, I don't share. I share with my wife, but that's it.
And plus, it's a principle thing, I bet, for your dad.
It is. I got to respect that a little bit.
Well, of course you have to respect it. You have to understand, it's ridiculous that we are in constant communication with each other these days, and we know where each other are at all times. That's ridiculous. So hell yeah, your dad's not going to agree to that kind of crap.
No, he wants to know where I am, what kind of nonsense I'm up to, but he's like, you ain't going to know nothing about me.
She's at the bar again.
He spent the first 50 years of his life without dealing with this crap.
Box Tossing Jesus wants to know if you're still tight with this Craigslist stranger.
Yeah, we stay in touch.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really cool. Dana.
All right, what's this now? I might need a little help with this one. The world's first AI beauty pageant is set to be up and running. AI-generated women competing for the title of Miss AI.
What?
Yeah, you tell me. I have no idea what I just told you.
AI scares me.
I don't know much about it. I'm kind of reluctant to learn.
Someone tell me what I'm talking about here. What am I talking about?
Well, these aren't real people.
Yeah.
Okay, but so you, Josh, sit down and create a fake woman on
Yeah, we put bras on our heads.
And then we
and we make a woman.
A nuclear missile comes up from the bottom, and then my brother Chet comes home.
Oh, and we turn him into a big pile of poop.
Right. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know. How do you create an AI woman to run in the Miss AI beauty pageant?
Yeah, they just make her on a computer.
Yeah, like you guys did for your sex doll, but then once you generate it, it just goes online.
Like we did with our sex doll.
Well,
when you and Josh made a sex doll together.
Well, yeah, but we didn't use AI. We actually...
We just ordered it online.
We looked at a website with different rubber body parts is how we created our fake sex.
That's kind of how you do it. Online, it has different body parts and different things that you can choose from.
So, Josh and I were literally picking rubber body parts that would be glued onto a doll, don't tell me the word, a doll torso. In this case, if we're creating an AI woman, we're looking at computer-y things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's if you don't look too close, they look like real women. At least they do to me.
Yeah, there's a couple on Instagram, and they're like AI bots, and they have different clothes and stuff that they change all the time and different poses. It's insane. They look absolutely real.
Now, these AI women in the AI beauty pageant are going to talk. They answer questions, just like you see on the old Miss America contest. How do you think you would achieve world peace if you were the leader of the... Well, I would like... I guess these AI characters are going to talk. I don't know. Anyone who knows anything about this, go ahead and fill in.
I wish I could.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And the total purse, the total prize package, $20,000. I thought it would be more than that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good, but
I thought it would be.
Maybe as they continue to do this creepily, it'll be more.
And then one more, I have to apologize, but I'm lost on the subject. There's very little editing here because I have no idea what to keep or what to remove. So here goes. People are making digital clones of themselves to do work for them.
Oh, okay, like maybe that would help with like Zoom meetings and stuff like that.
They mentioned that. They mentioned that in the article.
But what if my clone gets me in trouble?
Yeah.
Why am I canceled?
It just starts dropping F-bombs to my boss.
Or just posing scantily clad in different places?
Yeah.
So it says here, again, I'm just going to read this and you stop me or interrupt, whatever. Delphi, the world's first digital cloning platform, uses data from podcasts, videos, PDFs, whatever that is, and other content to develop a clone of people that can mimic the user's thoughts and speech. It can take as little as 1 hour to create a clone of someone. You need a photo ID to provide to the company. You can't just clone anyone. You're going to need to identify yourself so they can clone you. And it says here, everyone will eventually have a digital clone of themselves one day. Hopefully, I hope I am long dead. But you can send your clone to a Zoom or a Google meeting. It'll be able to answer questions for you. Video clones already exist in Japan. Clones are so realistic that they even look impatient when you don't respond to them.
Yeah, I like that they have... I mean, it's funny, watching our boss on those Zoom meetings, he does not hide his annoyance with being on a Zoom meeting.
Not at all.
He's a busy guy. He doesn't want to sit on one of those. It's great just watching him put his head down and just be, oh, God, somebody's asking another question. That part is entertaining for me on those meetings.
That's the only good part about them.
I don't get it. But I don't know. I guess if it can sit in on a meeting for me. Is that going to be okay with bosses? To know that you're at the golf course or whatever, and your clone is sitting at, I don't know.
I tasked my AI bot with this one, boss.
Hell of a deal. Sorry, I have no closing comment on things like this because I just don't have any idea what I'm talking about.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Never hit a walk-off home run. Until now, maybe. Deep right field. Cedric Mullins. Good night. Sweet dreams, Minnesota. Cedric Mullins with the first walk-off home run of his career, ending a sensational series.
And the Twins, miserable.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Twins are miserable. Rocco has become a heavy drinker.
I just want to block this series out. Pretend it never happened.
You mean season?
Yeah, no, Dana. I still have a little bit of hope.
Rocco's banging down the drinks. The Twins get walked off by the Baltimore Orioles yesterday.
Rocco!
Oh. Man, Bear Pigs and the completely unnecessary meet-up at the X tonight for the final. Stanley Cup playoffs begin this weekend. NBA play-in games last night. We'll tell you about the Eastern Conference clubs when Randy Shaver joins us here in about a half hour. The NBA, by the way, the NBA has banned a player for life.
It's crazy.
They didn't actually put a timeline, they didn't actually put a time frame on it, but it sounds like it's for effing life. Like I was saying, Randy Shaver going to be here in a half hour. And we can go bananas. We can go up, down, sideways on all these pressing issues in the sports world these days. But don't go anywhere because Josh's news is coming up next.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show. Comedian John Christ.
How long have you been in Nashville? Let's see, 2018 is when I moved here. I lived in an apartment. I didn't know anything about it. I lived in L.A.
You were living in L.A.? How was that?
Yeah. Well, let's see, good for my career. Send me to rehab, though, so that's pretty much the sum of it.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
As a woman, it is concerning, it's sickening to watch. And we do applaud the woman for capturing this on video and confronting the suspect.
Disturbing footage captured the moment an elementary school worker used a cell phone to take upskirt images of a woman at a North Carolina Target Monday. 21-year-old Thomas Elliott, a volunteer at Eastern Elementary School, is seen pointing the camera under the unsuspecting shopper's skirt in the Greenville store. The woman said she started shooting video when she noticed the creep following her around.
So I decided to get up and scoot over, and then at this point I really was not focusing on what I was trying to buy anymore. I was more just so distracted by him still lingering in the area. No matter how much you try to think that you're going to be prepared for it, kind of throws you through a loop when it actually happens.
She alerted store security and later posted the footage, which also captured the cops placing Elliott in handcuffs.
The scariest thing about this for me is that the guy looks like a normal, nice guy. Like, usually with creeps, you're like, all right, that guy looks creepy, but he looks completely normal.
He's not your cartoon character pervert.
No, absolutely.
Aside from being bent over and holding the camera towards her crotch, he does look like a normal guy. This is on 93x.com?
Yes, it is. He's not very slick with it, that's for sure. It's very obvious.
One of those upskirt guys. Huh? Yeah. I thought those guys had kind of faded away. You know what I mean?
I think my big takeaway from that story is that Josh has a very good ET impression.
Oh, thank you very much. When I was on the force and I was towing that red and khaki line as asset protection for Target, we used to catch guys doing stuff like that.
Did you really?
We did. A janitor at an upstate New York elementary school was busted for secretly recording people by hiding a cell phone inside a faculty bathroom. 29-year-old David Ague was arrested late Tuesday after the phone was discovered still recording inside the elementary school employee bathroom by a staff member.
Totally violated somebody's privacy, their rights. They're in the bathroom. They think they're in a safe space, and you've got some, nitwit taping them illegally.
Some of them were pooping.
Oh, no.
Investigators ultimately seized 2 phones from the custodian, along with his computer, a hard drive, a USB drive, and several memory cards discovered inside his home. At least 6 people were recorded, although it remains unclear how long the device was hidden in the bathroom, so there could be more victims. His case is surprisingly not even the first of its kind in that same county. Veteran 5th grade teacher Patrick Morgan was caught secretly recording 28 of his colleagues inside a staff bathroom at Sand Creek Middle School just 2 years ago.
I can't imagine who out there would want to watch me take a deuce.
Yeah, I know.
but there's somebody out there who would.
Yeah.
I hope I'd be fast forwarded to somebody else. I don't want to watch this one. Go to the next person.
And I just hope I have clean underwear on the day that they're doing the filming too,
It's disturbing, Josh, but it's also a little flattering.
I agree. It doesn't seem right to agree with that, but hey, thank you for showing some interest in me, especially in this compromising position. But you probably should ask permission. As a matter of fact, you absolutely should ask permission.
You should.
Because some people might say yes, including myself. A North Carolina defense attorney found herself on the wrong side of the law when she assaulted a woman and, when taken into custody, faked a seizure.
It's very unprofessional. It's terrible to hear. Not anything that I want representing my family member.
Cops responded to an assault call shortly before noon Monday to the law office of 53-year-old Mary Rogers. When they arrived, police found the woman with a bloodied, scratched-up face. I should say a woman with a bloodied, scratched-up face, the victim. The victim said Rogers wanted to have a sexual relationship with her, but she rebuffed the horny attorney's attempts.
She did.
And that's when Rogers punched her in the face. As police tried to place the love-struck lawyer in the patrol car, she kicked an officer in the leg. She then spit in the face of another officer before laying down in the patrol car and refusing to get up. When police tried to sit her up, she forced her way out of the squad and onto the ground, leading officers to believe she was having a seizure. Out of concern, they took her to the hospital. But when she got there, she told hospital staff she was faking it, a la Larry David. Oh, she also spit on a medic, by the way. The defense attorney will now be needing a criminal defense lawyer of her own as she's facing charges of simple assault, assault on a government official, and 2 counts of malicious conduct by a prisoner.
Yeah, the old fake medical emergency bit.
Yeah, that was pretty funny when Larry David faked the heart attack and realized he could get out of stuff by doing it. A serial convicted cop impersonator from Texas was busted after authorities said he tried to pull over undercover deputies while sporting a fake uniform, ballistic vest, and official-looking badge. It's great when they pull over the undercover cops. Sean Arnold was driving a white Hyundai Santa Fe equipped with emergency lights and sirens when he attempted to perform the illegal traffic stop during a racing event in West Houston Saturday. Alarmed by his suspicious behavior, undercover deputies alerted marked sheriff's units, who stopped him and found he was fully equipped to deceive by having donned a police uniform shirt, a bulletproof vest with his last name stitched on the front, a body camera, and a security badge.
Activated emergency lights and horn, inducing people to move out of the way, thereby identifying himself as a police officer.
Arnold, who, by the way, is a convicted felon, also had a BB gun, a taser, police radios, and other equipment commonly carried by law enforcement in his car.
It's the kind of guy that whacks off to that live PD show.
Oh, dude.
I love that show.
And I can just hear the guy, Grandma, will you what's the word again? Will you stitch my last name to this vest? You know what I mean? I guarantee his grandmother did that for him.
I also love that show, Ashley, but I've never been tempted to touch myself to it. His history of trying to pass himself off as a cop spans more than 2 decades and at least 3 states.
What is concerning for the court is that now this is the 4th arrest for similar types of charges.
In 2001, he was convicted of impersonating a police officer in Jefferson County, Texas. The following year, busted on the same charge in Illinois. In 2015, he was found guilty of impersonating an officer in Missouri, where his record also includes charges related to stealing vehicles and other types of theft. Following his latest run-in with real cops, Arnold was once again charged with impersonating a police officer and a felon in possession of body armor. From fake cops to fake priests, last week deputies arrested a fake priest for burglarizing multiple churches throughout the U.S. The suspect, 45-year-old Malin Rostas, used his false persona of Father Martin to gain access to multiple churches before stealing from them.
Very sad that someone is going to come on to any house of worship and just violate it. And he violated everybody. He's a vulture. He knows what he's doing.
Investigators believe there may be more victims and hope that sharing the priest impersonator's photo will encourage them to come forward. And a drunk 30-year-old in Clarksville, Tennessee, crashed after a night out, telling police he drank 2 shots of whiskey at the bar. While the details of someone claiming to have 2 drinks when caught drunk driving may not be unique, his name is. Booking records note the man's name, Lord Amezzo.
Oh, no way.
Lord. You're going to command some respect with that name. In the name of the Father, the Son, and barrel-aged spirit in this case. Police in California busted a grand theft Lego ring. The California Highway Patrol served warrants at 4 sites, found ill-gotten bricks worth around $300,000, which any parent knows is about 6 sets. The suspect stole Lego kits from retailers like Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's and sold the stolen merchandise to fencing locations who resold the pilfered playthings to individuals and retailers. Police say Lego kits are valuable enough to be prime targets for thieves. Some sets, like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars, can sell for upwards of $900 each.
You said you don't touch yourself while watching live PD. I almost started to touch myself seeing the photos of the haul those guys had. They had an entire warehouse full of Lego boxes, and I was just like, that would just be heaven.
Would you buy hot Legos?
Oh, I'd buy hot Legos. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Save some cash?
Yeah.
Those things are expensive.
Yeah, if you want to text in, if you got some merch you need to move.
A 28-year-old woman was arrested after cops found her passed out in the back seat with her son behind the wheel, driving the wrong way down a St. Louis street. Cops who noticed a car going west in the eastbound lanes received quite a surprise when they pulled the vehicle over and met a very young driver who's only 8.
Very dangerous, disturbing situation.
Indeed. Officers didn't have to look too far to find his mom. LaTanya Mays Gale was passed out in the back. The 8-year-old told police his mother could no longer drive, so she instructed him to take over. A 3-year-old was also in the car, not strapped in a car seat. The sleepy mom was taken into custody on 2 counts of first-degree endangering the welfare of a child.
What, when you guys were grade schoolers, you never had to drive because your folks were too drunk?
No, but my wife used to have to drive her dad quite often for that reason. She started driving when she was 9.
Oh, wow.
Driving him home from wherever.
That's fun.
He had a Camaro, though. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's
pretty sweet.
Dude.
Then in Florida, a driver was arrested for fleeing and eluding and having no driver's license because that driver who led police on a 4-mile chase was a little too young for a license. He was only 13. A 53-year-old boat captain was arrested and charged with boating under the influence Friday afternoon in Florida. Witnesses told law enforcement John Beckwith, the captain of the Clearwater Fun boat, was impaired to the point where he fell off the vessel while 30 people were attending the boat tour just before 2 p.m.
That is a fun boat.
Somehow
the captain, he's gone.
Man overboard, and he's the guy that's driving the damn thing?
That's right. Boat employees said Beckwith arrived at work stumbling and had food all over his face. He might be developing a reputation as someone who likes to party, as evidenced by his prior DUI convictions in both Michigan and Arizona. A Detroit man was arrested after shooting 5 people following an argument over a parking spot. 32-year-old Damond Hunter left a nightclub just before 2:45 a.m. after the parking space spat, but later returned and opened fire on the crowd, injuring 5 people. When describing the incident, Assistant Chief Charles Fitzgerald with Detroit Police got in a not-so-subtle dig at the suspect.
He came back with like a little machine gun-style pistol, fires rapid rounds relatively quickly. Most cowards carry them, and that's kind of what I classified it even that night of.
I love it when they do that.
What did he say?
Most cowards carry that weapon.
Oh.
Hunter reportedly fired the gunshot so aimlessly, he even shot his own friend by accident.
God help us all.
All 5 victims, who range in ages from 33 to 49, suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
This was at near 3 o'clock in the morning at a nightclub?
Yep.
Yeah.
NASA confirmed an object that crashed through the roof of a Florida home last month was indeed garbage jettisoned from the International Space Station.
Ooh.
The out-of-this-world space trash crashed through Alejandro Otero's roof in Naples, Florida, March 8th.
It was a tremendous sound. It almost hit my son. He was 2 rooms over and heard it all. I was shaken. I was completely in disbelief. What are the chances to something landing on my house with such force to cause so much damage?
The object was taken by NASA to be examined, and the space agencies now confirmed it was indeed the remains of a 5,800-pound cargo pallet of depleted batteries jettisoned from the ISS in March of 2021.
Well, where was it supposed to land?
They say it usually burns up in the atmosphere or lands in the ocean somewhere.
Oh, so they intentionally coughed these bags of garbage off the side of that spaceship.
Correct.
All right.
The hardware was expected to fully burn up during entry through Earth's atmosphere on March 8th, 2024, NASA said in a statement. However, a piece of hardware survived re-entry and impacted a home.
Very heavy and very damaging. I mean, this lands on anybody or any structure will completely destroy it. We got super lucky.
The 1.6-pound piece of debris measuring about 4 inches long was identified as a stanchion from the NASA flight support equipment used to mount the batteries on the cargo pallet, NASA said.
Well, I bet that'll make you spill your paper plate of pizza rolls and whatnot while you're trying to watch the ball game on television.
It's not uncommon for space agencies and commercial space companies to discard defunct hardware in this manner, since it avoids contributing to Earth's space junk problem. Tens of thousands of pieces of such junk and millions more smaller bits of orbital debris already clutter the space around the planet. Objects that enter the atmosphere leave space and burn rather than joining that debris field. And in Massachusetts, a puzzling discovery on a Cape Cod beach resembling an aircraft fuselage has been revealed as an artifact connected to a formerly top-secret Cold War program. Some thought it looked like a piece from a UFO, but it's not. Officials confirmed it was part of a Cold War-era drone that was used for target practice.
A park historian figured out the object was the fuselage of a remote-controlled aerial target. The drone planes were used as target practice for anti-aircraft gunners at the old Camp Wellfleet in the 40s and 50s.
During the Cold War with the Soviet Union, the state-of-the-art program was classified top secret.
I had no idea drones went back that far.
Well, now you do.
1940.
Max Angel, an appropriately named young Massachusetts student, helped his pregnant first-grade teacher when she passed out in class. The 70-year-old rushed to the nurse's office for help after his teacher passed out due to pressure on a blood vessel caused by the baby resting on her in a weird way. The teacher praised Max for his bravery and handling the situation well, saying he learned what to do at home.
My dad helped me because he taught me to help others. And if I didn't help, I knew that, that could have ended bad.
And a Minnesota cop is
I like how you cut him off.
Well, he didn't have much more to say.
No, he's rambling a bit.
He kind of started he went on a political tirade after
Did he?
that.
Yeah, sure.
A little controversial. A Minnesota cop is being called a hero after saving a woman's life during a trip to Europe. While chaperoning a Matamidi public school high school trip, Deputy Kelly Olson, who's also a school resource officer, was at a hotel in Munich, Germany when she noticed a woman choking during breakfast. Deputy Olson performed the Heimlich maneuver, saving her life. She not only serves as a deputy with the Washington County Sheriff's Office and the SRO for Matamidi, but she's also the school's junior varsity volleyball coach. And an Eagan resident saved a group of babies from peril earlier this month, squirrel babies. When the woman was having a tree cut down, she noticed a group of baby squirrels just as the tree clippings were about to be run through the shredder. The eagle-eyed Eaganite boxed them up, and a local rescue is rehabbing the babies until they can be released back in the wild.
Poor little squirrels lost their home.
I bet that would have been pretty gross, watching those things fly out the other side.
Oh, no.
What?
Conan O'Brien turned 61 today. And his birthday coincides with the premiere of his new series, Conan O'Brien Must Go, on Max, where Conan travels the world visiting people he's met through his podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Fan. Just a year older than Conan, comedian Jeff Dunham turned 62. And
Is he the guy with the puppets?
Yep, that's the guy.
I'll go along with that.
And Ghostbusters, Spaceballs, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Little Shop of Horrors, and Parenthood star Rick Moranis, 71. Good luck to 2-Pump, 3-Squirt Jesus, headed to Vegas to play some darts and hoping to join the Mile High Club today, he said.
Going to all the way to Vegas to play darts?
I guess so. He must be pretty good.
My uncle's got a board hanging in his garage.
Get well, David Big D from River Falls, recovering from an injury. The Thursday Night Boys are thinking of you, from Duck You Jesus. Happy 28th birthday to Wisco Dells Jesus from School Bus Driving Mama Jesus. And happy birthday to Corkster Jesus from Alcoholic Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
Foot that ass, foot that ass, foot that ass.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Big hunger here to be able to get to the second round. It's something we haven't done here in Minnesota in a long time. Broke the hurdle of not making the playoffs now for a couple years, so the fans deserve more, and we want more as well from the game. So we just got to be the best version of ourselves.
It's super fun, man. I'm ready to play. We play Saturday at 2:30, so just being able to close out games a little better. They putting 3 people on me, so I just got to make the right reads and trusting my teammates. Not playing hero ball at the end, taking all the tough shots, trusting my teammates when they open, hit them, and live with the results. I'll be ready.
It's a lot of fun. It's a coach's dream, really. I mean, you get a chance to pick it apart. They've given us a body of work to go from. Most recently Sunday. Get a chance to tear it apart, start putting it back together, come up with some answers. So it feels like a football game.
There you go, Carl and A1 from day one, and Finchy talking about the upcoming playoff. We'll talk some hoops here shortly. Anthony Edwards sounds like he has a cold. Is he going to be all right for Saturday? Does he have a cold?
He did sound a little under the weather.
But first, by God, we missed our pal yesterday. He's back today. Old Randy Shaver. How you doing, Randy?
I'm all right.
Hey,
How are you?
You all right?
Yeah.
God dang. Do you want to tell our listeners what caused you to take a day to yourself yesterday?
I was in a terrible car accident on Tuesday afternoon on my way to work. And to be truthfully honest, I'm lucky to be here. Was driving in the rain on 694, 94, just west of the Weaver Lake exit, and I was in the far right lane, and a semi-truck tapped my fender of my Thunderbird.
God dang.
And sent me into a spin out that I was going 60, 65, and I crashed into the guardrail on my passenger side, and I'm so lucky that I didn't hit anybody else.
Man.
On my trip across 4 lanes of traffic.
Right.
I was lucky a guardrail was there.
Yeah,
I could have tumbled down a hill or whatever. But I've walked away with kind of a sore neck and a couple of scratches. But other than that, I'm just damn lucky to be here.
Me running.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, Randy.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
So,
Beat
now
the hell out of you.
It did.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, now I'm more pissed off about my car than I am anything else.
You know, and that's something I text you. I know how much you love that car, too.
I had that car for 11 years. I only drive it in the summer. I never really drive it in the rain. Why I chose to do it on Tuesday, I can't even tell you. Just one of those deals. I just jumped in it, and it wasn't really raining all that hard when I left, but yeah.
So she's a goner. The car's a goner.
She's a goner. She'll be totaled this week, I'm sure. Yeah.
And you got checked out by paramedics and everything on the scene.
I did. Yeah. There was. Yeah. It was. It's quite the ordeal.
God dang.
It's one of those things. I report about this stuff all the time, right? Car accidents, this, that.
Yeah.
I've never been in anything like that.
Yeah.
That, completely out of my control. There was nothing I could do. You couldn't slam on a brake or turn the wheel, or there was just nothing. And
a pit maneuver, you called it when you texted us about this.
Yeah, it's what it felt like. It's what it looked like. All of a sudden, as I'm driving along, I see in my side mirror a headlight, and I realize it's a truck, and I realize that he's probably changing lanes and didn't see me. I'm in a little car. He just I'm sure he didn't see me, and he didn't hit me hard. Didn't have to. It was just a tap, and that's all it needed. And that just...
It was like Talladega.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
So
I'm beginning to think you're invincible with all you've been through in your life. Really? Yeah. You're the toughest dude I've ever met.
I would rather not test that if it's possible.
You're ready to put a lid on all your life-threatening situations at this point in your life.
I would absolutely love to do that.
Yeah, let's put a lid on it. He's been through enough already. Well, that's crazy, and we're very happy that you made it out of there, walking and talking and feeling mostly like yourself.
Yeah. And I feel bad. I was supposed to MC the Athena Awards yesterday in St. Paul, and I've done that for over 20 years, and I absolutely love it. This was going to be my last time because of retiring and everything.
What a way to go out.
And I couldn't make that. So I want to say a shout out this morning to Joe Schmidt, who jumped in and took my place yesterday and filled in for me. I appreciate that.
Well, you're getting a lot of nice comments here via text. Thanks to everybody who's been sending in support, and everyone's glad you're okay, obviously.
Let me ask you, have you driven a vehicle since?
It's really funny you asked that because, first of all, when the answer is yes. I did yesterday morning. I had to go sign a release form and go see my car. I'll have to. I don't know if I sent you pictures. I should send you a few pictures.
I'd like to see the pictures of that motor vehicle.
I'll do that right now as I'm talking. But the short answer is yes. I jumped in my car, my other car yesterday to go do that and take some things out of that car that I had forgotten that I needed to grab. And but it was...
Were you a little jumpy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. I just sent them to you, Nick.
I'll look them up.
I wasn't... I was looking around a lot. Let's put it that way. And it wasn't raining. It was perfectly dry. But... Yeah,
I'm looking at the pictures of your car, dude.
I know. I'll send them to Josh.
You are
so what happened? What happened was it ended up underneath the guardrail. It got I hit the guardrail so hard that the front end of that car stuck under the guardrail, and they had to pull it out of the guardrail.
Oh my goodness!
That was one cool looking car. Now I'm wondering why we ever busted your balls about this car. Because we used to bust your balls about it. Well, we're very thankful, Randy Shaver. The reason I ask if you're jumpy is the closest I ever came to dying behind the wheel was the almost head-on collision story, Josh, from all those years ago. You know the story where...
Oh, that's terrifying.
A lady came at me 60 miles an hour. She was driving the wrong way on the interstate.
Oh,
and
God.
I mean, it was one of those suspended animation type deals where I thought to myself, this is it. And I was able to swerve out of her way and spin into the ditch to avoid death. And sadly, the lady missed me but killed a few people behind me with her wrong way down the interstate. And it's really hard to get past that feeling. The first 7 or 8 drives that I had after that, I was so jumpy. Every time I saw a set of brake lights, I was dangerous behind the wheel because I was overreacting to everything.
Sure.
It's just a crazy thing.
Totally know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's horrifying what you went through. Good Lord.
I didn't make contact with anybody though.
No, but to know that could have been you.
Oh, it
I mean,
sucked.
that's just...
It sucked. I was shaking like a leaf.
Now that everyone knows you're okay, people are saying, too bad about his Thunderbird. We know how much he loved his car, but it wouldn't have happened if you were driving a Chevy. Now the Ford versus Chevy people. Now that Randy's okay, you can start that rivalry.
If you were driving a Chevy...
If you had a Corvette, you would have been fine.
You would have been able to navigate your way through.
Probably.
Oh, did you remember, did you scream anything out loud? Did you say anything to yourself?
The only thing I remember thinking is because he hit me and I faced the traffic coming at me on 94 as I'm sliding across the lanes of traffic. So I just remember thinking, oh, my car. That's what as dumb as that sounds, because this is our vacation car. This is the car my wife and I take on all our road trips. This is the car that we, for the last 10 years, have just loved jumping in and going on these 2-week car trips and seeing things. And I knew that it was done at that point. And so, yeah, that's what I thought. And then, of course, when I hit the rail and then I took an assessment of me, just making sure I was okay. And
was it in slow motion?
It was.
Yeah,
it really was. It was crazy. And then the sad part is nobody stopped.
Really?
I mean, I must have sat there.
Well, it was raining.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little chilly out.
Yeah, actually, Randy, I drove by. I saw him like, he'll figure it out. He's
fine.
You
actually drove by twice to get a look.
I drove by the second time, said, ha ha.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what?
I'm sure there were people that did that too, by the way.
I'm sure, and I'm not joking, there were people that probably thought, well, it's raining.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's crazy, but that's probably true. They thought, well, I'd help the sumbitch, but I don't want to get all wet. I got my brand new clothes on.
Yeah.
So no one stopped at all until the cops
were... Well, finally somebody, a person did, and I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he had scrubs on, medical scrubs.
Oh.
Nice. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, this is a doctor. And he opens the door and he goes, are you okay? And I go, yeah, I think so. And I thought to myself, oh, I feel so relieved it's a doctor. Then I looked on his chest and it said pet hospital. and I realized yeah, exactly. But he was so nice to have stopped, and he was calling 911, and yeah, it was crazy.
When you went and checked out the wreckage, did you snap off a piece of the car to keep as a memento or anything?
I didn't. No, I didn't. But I just...
Listeners are wondering if the trucker stopped.
He did stop. To be honest with you, I never saw him. Once I got turned around in my car, I didn't get out of my car because of the traffic and everything. And I wasn't sure physically how I was going to be, if I was all right. I found out later he did stop. The patrol talked to him. I'm not sure what his story was, to be honest with you. I just know what I told the trooper, and they write everything out. One of the sad parts is, from my understanding, the video, because it was under that bridge or close to under the bridge, they don't have conclusive video. Because the highways all have video,
right?
Yeah. So they could see everything.
I wonder if the trucker does.
That's a good question, and I don't know that.
Boy, that is a racetrack up that way, isn't it, Randy?
It can be. It can be. So, but the trooper took some pictures and understood what I was telling her, that that's what it felt like, was a pit maneuver, and you can see the marks on my car where the fender, where he hit me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so
well, now that you've had this latest,
we'll get it all sorted out.
Okay.
Sure.
Some folks, when they have these sudden near-death experiences, they become completely different people. Or are you gonna, walk the earth?
This is like his fourth one.
Are you gonna seek? Yeah. Are you gonna seek a higher? You know how that happens. You'll be the next.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to do all that. No.
Or are you going to go wild, like with cocaine and parties?
Ooh, wow.
You know what I mean?
I don't think so,
okay.
No.
We have a varying opinion here from Ringing Your Mom's Doorbell Jesus, who said, actually, that wouldn't have happened if you were driving a Chevy, because the Chevy would have been in the shop already. So that wouldn't happen. I know exactly what you mean, though, about thinking of your vehicle in a situation like that, because I used to ride motorcycles, and I was, in the process of crashing. And I thought, well, maybe if I get myself between the ground and my bike, I can protect my bike as much as possible. I had the exact same thought. And then you realize afterwards how stupid that is.
Well, I'll tell you what, Randy.
Have you considered a darkness retreat, as suggested by Jiu-Jitsu Jesus? Maybe some ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca, yeah.
You are a tough sumbitch.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Get some rest,
Oh, and we're being corrected. It's, to go back to an old bit, it's an anal Thunderbird, not a Ford Thunderbird.
Good Lord. We're very happy that you're okay.
Yeah, geez. I mean, it's scary how quick that can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm very, very, very lucky to be here. Had I hit that guardrail head on, had I hit it from the back of my car, had another semi been coming on the inside lane.
Thank goodness you didn't have a passenger, too.
Exactly. There's so many things that could have happened that could have changed everything. And as sad as I am as the way it turned out, I am lucky. So.
We got all these text messages coming in. Look, today's not the day for golf cart jokes. Okay? I probably scrolled through.
This is not a golf cart joke.
No, not today. Give it a week, then you can dump some more golf cart jokes on him.
Oh, man.
When talking about some jock sniffing, take your mind off your soreness and your sadness.
Sure. Can't say that I watched a whole hell of a lot of stuff the last day, but
I bet you were more.
I did watch a little bit of the NBA last night, but
staring at the ceiling and wondering what could have been. It was the perfectly miserable ending to an exceptionally miserable series yesterday for the Twins in Baltimore.
Boy, I guess.
With the Orioles' Cedric Mullins hitting a walk-off 2-run dong off of Griffin Jackson in the bottom of the ninth, and the Orioles win that game 4-2 yesterday. They sweep the series.
Until now, maybe. Deep right field. Cedric Mullins. Good night. Sweet dreams, Minnesota. Cedric Mullins with the first walk-off home run of his career, ending a sensational series.
What a bunch of dicks they got there in Baltimore. Pablo Lopez had a nice game, and then it fell apart. Yes, Randy.
So Aaron Gleeman, who writes for covers the Twins, put a tweet out yesterday that I liked because I wanted to mention it to you today. The Twins lineups collectively have hit 193 as a team. It's the second lowest through 17 games for any American League team in the last 50 years.
Jiminy Christmas.
The only team with a lower batting average through first 17 games excuse me, was the 2003 Tigers, and they finished 43-119.
Ow! The thought of such a thing is painful.
Hopefully we won't finish 43-119.
Oh, that would suck
but
eggs.
That kind of says it all right now, right? At least through the first 17 games?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, it was brutal. And it's over. And now they take a little day to
Now they
themselves.
play the Tigers.
They play the Tigers starting at home. Weekend series tomorrow. Oh, there was one cute little story from the miserable Baltimore series, and that was some family was at the ballpark for Tuesday's game. They're Minnesotans who now live out in Baltimore. They brought their kid to the game. Byron Buxton spots the kid sitting there with his folks in the bleachers and decides to throw him a baseball. And some douchebag swiped it away from the kid and runs, right? You know, one of these grown folks who's got to have his friggin' stupid baseball collection. So the Twins heard about it, did something nice. You know, Twitter gets cooking, and Byron signed a bunch of stuff and gave it to the kid. They presented it to him on television. It was a hell of a deal.
I actually did see that Audra Martin did that. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
You know, 9-year-old kid or whatever.
Yeah, that's just so stupid.
And then he courageously runs away.
Yeah.
Yoink.
I saw a tweet that said they were hoping that because of, he grabbed it so quickly after Buxton signed it that when he ran away, he noticed that he smudged the signature.
No.
That would have been awesome.
Grabbing a baseball away from a 9-year-old kid. How about this? A Pittsburgh Pirates player suffered an injury this week straight out of a Looney Tunes cartoon. A catcher by the name of Joey Bart was catching in the bullpen before a ball game, and he got hit upside the head by a batting practice home run. He's getting warmed up for the game. The fellas are taking BP. A batting practice home run hits him in the skull.
Oh, God.
He's going to have to sit it out for a while. Oh, no. Not to bring us back to your car wreck, but listen to this. I don't know if I've ever heard a friggin' scam like this before. And it's pathetic. And it involves a former big league ball player, Yuniesky Betancourt. I remember watching him play baseball. Mm-hmm. Mariners, Royals, Brewers. Lasted in the league for a good 7-8 years. I don't know. Betancourt's been arrested. And so have 3 other people. This is down in friggin' Florida. And they've been in charge with insurance fraud. From what I can understand here, Betancourt and his bros were staging fake car accidents to collect insurance money.
Oh, my gosh.
Have you ever heard of something like that?
I've never. How do you fake that?
I don't know. They staged a car accident in Miami. So what did they do? They take a beaten up car, put it into the ditch, and then they all kind of sprawled themselves. oh God, my ribs. Oh God, it was a van. They took off. It was a hit and run. Oh God, I need help. I don't know how they.
Well, sometimes what they'll do is they'll stop short in front of an unsuspecting driver, or have you seen that video? It was a viral video for a while about the guy that pretended a Tesla hit him, but it's got cameras all over the car. No. You see the guy clearly taking a soccer-like dive, that type of thing.
Okay, so you're saying they actually created a real car accident. Maybe I took staged too literally, and I thought they would just lay themselves out on the hood of the car.
Yeah, when they said staged, I thought they meant like they set it up.
You're probably right. I was taking it too literally, like I said.
But the article mentioned he made $19 million over his career.
God. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yes, he did. I thought you were going to say that's what he made from the insurance fraud.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how much he made from the insurance fraud. But over his career, he made $19 million.
Yeah. Why are you involved in this? Maybe he spent all his money on prostitutes or something.
It's just a fun little hobby.
So they would go to the hospital and seek treatment for injuries that they allegedly didn't actually suffer. And it sounds like, was this worth it? This is what I have in front of me. Between the 4 of them, they made $22,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's not, small money, but right, why would you risk injury or your freedom for something like that?
That's just so horrible and pathetic that you're involved in something like that. I mean, of course, there's worse things, but it's just so pathetic.
It is. How embarrassing.
Man. All right, Randy, so you said you watched a little basketball last night. The Eastern Conference clubs in the NBA, they put on their play-in games last night. Philadelphia 76ers have claimed the number 7 seed in the playoff by beating Miami.
That's a gritty second half by Philadelphia. It didn't help Miami that Jimmy Butler got hurt and was kind of a non-factor in the fourth quarter. But
yeah, Jimmy Bottles, he might not be able to play in their next game.
He might not. I don't know if it would actually matter because I think Chicago is pretty good, and I think Chicago will likely win that game. But
so Philly,
up, Twin Cities? This is General Soreness. You're listening to the Half-Ass Morning Show on 93X.
Oh, he's a little bit more than General Soreness today.
Oh God, yeah. Philly now takes that 7 spot and gets the New York Knicks.
Yep,
in the opening round.
That'll be a great first round.
So, like you were saying, the Heat go home to play the Chicago Bulls, who beat Atlanta last night.
Right.
The Bulls and Heat play tomorrow night. The winner claims the number 8 seed in the playoff, the right to play the number 1 seed Boston Celtics. Yeah, Chicago looks really good. Like Jim Peterson said a few weeks ago when the Wolves played the Chicago Bulls, the Bulls should have a better record.
They should.
They're really good.
Yeah, they've had some injury issues throughout the year. Certainly losing Zach LaVine early on didn't help. But when they lost LaVine, guys like Kobe White just completely took off. I mean, Kobe White's having a great year. He scored 42 last night. He was kind of flying under the radar as a guy, either a spot starter coming off the bench. But man, when LaVine went down, he just took off. So they've got a pretty good team. I mean, they're very good offensively. The thing about Miami is when you play Miami, it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be slow. And if you end up playing their style of play, it's going to be low scoring. I mean, Philadelphia only scored 39 points in the first half of that game last night.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fans were booing them out of the building.
Yeah, ended up scoring 105. But that's kind of the way Miami plays. So we'll see how that turns out. There's no games tonight. Everybody plays tomorrow, if I have that correct.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You're right about that. By God, you are. Okay. On liver number 2, Jesus is texting. Randy,
how is that actually possible to be on liver number 2?
Well, I don't know how that works. I don't know. But Randy Shaver didn't go to the hospital from his car accident.
I did not.
No. So then he couldn't answer this question for you on liver number 2, Jesus. He wanted to know who has the better pudding. Is it your assisted living situation or the local hospital? Randy didn't go to the hospital. He can't answer that for you.
Yeah, I would say it would take a fine pudding to beat what I have here.
Yeah.
And we know you're sad about losing the Thunderbird, but Blacktop Mojo Mofo Jesus has a good deal for you. He says he has a classic 2000 Subaru Outback for sale, and it comes with a Duran Duran cassette tape.
Can I just tell you something about the Subaru Outback? At the car show a couple of years ago, I saw one that was lifted, and my God, that looked awesome.
Look cool?
They had it all murdered out. It was. I'm sure you could Google it and see pictures of something like this.
Huh.
But, yeah, like one of the local places that pimps these out, they had it in their area.
That's sweet.
And it was awesome.
I only have one question about that Subaru because I might be interested. Which Duran Duran record do you have? I'm serious. Get back to us, Blackjack, whatever the hell you're. Which Duran?
Blacktop Mojo Mofo Jesus.
So remember that NBA guy? Remember that Toronto Raptors guy, Jonte Porter?
Yes.
Who was in trouble for gambling, betting on games. He's been banned.
Betting on himself.
Betting on himself and tipping other bettors to bet on him or against him, the whole schmear. He's been banned, and it does appear to be a lifetime ban.
It should be.
Mm-hmm. He bet on NBA games, including betting on his own team to lose. He helped known bettors win, limited his participation in games to ensure unders on his prop bets would hit. He would claim he was sick. Yeah, it is amazing.
It's amazing to me how these guys think that they're so smart that they can get away with something like that.
Yeah.
Because you never do. You're not going to get away with it.
Everything is tracked.
And now you lose everything in your life because of that. It's just ridiculous, just ridiculously stupid.
You got to be real dumb.
Yeah.
And arrogant. We have these conversations a lot in our stupid news reports about these people who think they're so cocky, they're so arrogant, they think, well, I'm smarter than everybody else.
Yeah. Actually, you're not smarter than
you're not.
Else. Yeah.
Yes, you're correct, listener. That is Michael Porter Jr.'s brother. Michael Porter Jr. plays for the Denver Nuggets. Yes, you're correct about that. Jonte and Michael are brothers. So, of course, yesterday on the godless internet, all kinds of articles were popping up about lifetime isn't a word, lifetime bans from sports history.
Yeah.
And they mentioned the 1919 Chicago White Sox with the World Series. They made the movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Yeah.
Pete Rose. The NFL's had a lot of them. Justin Blackmon. He was all banged up on drugs. Ray Rice tuned up his girlfriend. In the NBA, Roy Tarpley. Substance abuse issues. Chris Washburn. Substance abuse issues. In 1948, an NHL player was banned for life. Two of them, actually, for betting on hockey games, but both were reinstated, 22 years later. Listen to this. Back in 1927, an NHL player by the name of Billy Kotu was banned for life for beating up two referees in the hallway after a hockey game.
Oh, gosh, that's kind of bad.
Son of a bitch bastard, it was not hooking, you prick.
I'll always walk with Elias, Jesus says the NBA player should have had an interpreter make the bets for him.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, so Caitlin Clark sits down yesterday for a press conference now that she's in the WNBA and playing for the Indiana Fever. And there was an exchange between Caitlin Clark and a reporter. And the reporter kind of came off like a clown. And people are calling for the guy's job.
Caitlin, Greg Doyle, Indy Star. Real quick, let me do this.
You like that?
I like that you're here. I like that you're here.
I do that at my family after every game, so.
Okay, well, let's start doing it to me and we'll get along just fine.
All right, if I should have explained this beforehand. The whole I like that exchange. What the reporter did is he made that heart hand gesture,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Which is what she does at the end of the game to her family.
Right. You see it everywhere, but yeah, she does it on the back.
Yeah.
And she says, "Do you like that?" He says, "Well, if you start doing it to me, then we're going to be all right."
He was joking.
Yeah.
He was just kidding.
It sounded a lot worse. I thought it was a lot worse before I heard his voice. Like the way he's actually, like his tone of voice sounds like he's like.
The way that it's written doesn't do it justice for how it was sounded.
Yeah.
And I think he was just kind of just being nice. I don't think he meant anything. I know he came out and apologized on X.
Yeah.
He wrote something on X yesterday and said, "I'm sorry that it sounded awkward. It wasn't my intention to do that." And I I heard this audio already, and I agree. I just think he kind of just he said it to be nice, and it didn't come out that way.
Yeah, so they're calling for him to be fired.
Who's calling for him to be
fans
fired?
of Caitlin Clark? A lot of people.
There's a lot of journalists also.
Really?
For him, yeah.
Yeah, they want him canned. They said it was terrible and disrespectful and cringeworthy and all these things.
Well, I can say, sure, it sounds cringeworthy. I don't think he meant anything by that.
What do I know anymore? But that's the some folks are pushing for this guy to be fired.
Got an answer on Duran Duran, Nick.
What do you got?
See if you're interested. This is the album that the car comes with.
Okay.
It comes with Duran Duran's 1982 release, Rio.
Oh, I have that record.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah. Save a Prayer, Hungry Like the Wolf, the title track. Yeah, that's a big record.
Yeah.
So you already have? You need something different. You're not going to buy a car for this.
No, I mean, I already have the record. Yeah.
And technically, you also already have a car, but...
Right. Yeah, I mean, okay. Randy, you can have it. You can have that 2000 Subaru, man. Whatever. Yeah, I got a funny story kind of, I hope it's fun, connected to the Rio record by Duran Duran. So that came out when I was a fifth grade kid, 82, fifth grade. And a buddy of mine down the street had a little guy-girl get-together at his house. Adult supervision, right? It was one of these guy-girl hangouts for fifth graders. And it was, I think, the first that we'd ever had where we all go over and, we'll all hang out, dudes and chicks. And I remember I asked my mother, because I was fairly clueless, I said, what does a guy bring to a party like this where we're going to be hanging out with the chicks? And she said, well, when I was a kid, we would bring records to the parties. We'd bring and say, here's the latest, and we would listen to the records or we would dance. So I brought 2 records. I brought Kiss, Creatures of the Night, which was released in 1982, because I was a huge Kiss fan, and everyone at my grade school knew it, so I wanted to play some Kiss. But then I thought I better bring something for the chicks. So I took my sister's Duran Duran Rio record, and I brought those 2 records, and I bring them in. No one noticed that I brought them in, and I put them next to the record player in case anyone wanted to listen to Kiss or Duran Duran. And at one point during the party, some dude, fellow classmate of mine, went, who's the idiot that brought Duran Duran? And I said, I don't know. I brought the Kiss record.
I'm cool.
I don't know. So then I couldn't bring it home, right?
I was just going to ask if you bring it home. Yeah.
So then I got my sister busting my balls saying, where's my Duran Duran record?
Oh, boy.
And I said, I don't know. I just left it there. As everyone started laughing, too. Duran Duran, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, God.
I didn't have the balls to say, I brought it for the chicks. Back to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark will, I've seen a lot of people talking about this all over the place. Caitlin Clark will earn less on her WNBA rookie contract than 3 NBA mascots. What can be done about that? I mean,
she's about to sign an 8-figure deal with Nike. So
no. Forget about the endorsements. Yeah. We all know the endorsement thing. But
that's the way this WNBA has been set up. They from what I understand, from what I read, the league doesn't make money.
Right. That's what I was going to ask. I mean,
the league doesn't make money. It's lost money every year. It's subsidized by the NBA as part of it, and it certainly has grown. There's no doubt. The popularity and the growth of the sport, of the game, has really taken off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not to the level of NBA. It doesn't have the TV deals. It doesn't have all of those things.
Right.
And so in order to keep the league viable, you have to have the salary structure set up so that it keeps the league viable, right? I mean, you can't have the salaries be so outrageous that that the league folds because they can't afford the players.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the way it's been set up. And it's,
and everyone knows Caitlin Clark's going to be fine. She's making,
right.
But it's really, let me see here.
And this is why, Nick, a lot of these women go play overseas in the off season. That's where they make their money. It's not necessarily in the WNBA. It's when they go play over in Europe. So it's just kind of the way the thing has been set up. So
the Denver Nuggets, Rocky the Mountain Lion, Harry the Hawk of the Atlanta Hawks, and Chicago's Benny the Bull make more money than Caitlin Clark. It's a hell of a deal.
Surprised the Phoenix Gorilla's on that list. He deserves all the money he gets.
Does he still do his thing?
I hope so.
Is that still around?
I haven't seen him in years.
He came one time when I was a kid. It was very influential in my life. It was a big moment. They were playing the Suns, and for whatever reason, the Phoenix Gorilla came with and was at the Target Center, and him and Crunch were going back and forth, punking each other throughout the game. It was fantastic.
You know what? When they play in Phoenix in Game 3, we'll have to pay attention.
Yeah, the Phoenix Gorilla. He was a hell of a draw there for many years. Man Bear Pigs and the Completely Unnecessary have a game tonight at the X. It's the final. Game will be televised on that old ESPN starting at 6 o'clock. And then after that, it's boats and hoes. And golf courses.
A lot of golf courses.
Yep. So long, suckers. See you next season. Now they're signing up Theo Fleury. That's not his name. Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yes.
They're signing him up for one more year.
And you know what they should do? And I've been reading a lot about this too. People with the same opinions. They should sign this guy as an ambassador after the season's over. They should keep him in the organization. He's very popular. He's a great guy. He could do a lot for this club. in the community. He seems to really enjoy that kind of thing. Seems like a no-brainer in a lot of ways if he wants to be here.
Yeah, he's a happy, friendly, smiling sumbitch, that Fleury. He would be the perfect guy to just be glad handing around town and promoting the game.
And I think they've done that with like Mike Modano, right? Modano's kind of that. I don't know what Mike's specific job is with the Wild,
right?
But I know he lives here in town.
Yeah.
And I know that he's part of the organization, and I think that Flower would be kind of the same kind of person for them.
Yeah. Well, he's going to give it one more go next friggin' year. Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He got that 100th assist. We were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about him a handful of days ago because what's his nuts from Edmonton, Connor McDavid got the 100, and Kucherov was on 99. Well, he got it last night. The Lightning beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in a meaningless final game, but he got that 100 assists. He's the leading scorer in the NHL. I didn't know that. 144 points on the season. Wow. Stanley Cup playoffs begin this weekend. Here's what I believe the matchups to be. Could something change due to games played tonight? I'm not entirely sure. I'll just go ahead anyway. Eastern Conference, Rangers, Capitals, Panthers, Lightning, Bruins, Maple Leafs, Hurricanes, Islanders, and the Western Conference. This is where I think there could be some changes, but I'm not sure. Stars, Kings, Canucks, Predators, Jets, Avalanche, Oilers, Golden Knights. The Winnipeg Jets have a hell of a lot of points. I didn't know they were. I'll tell you what. My God.
We'll be on Zach watch. Starting this weekend.
Let's get Zachy a cup.
Yeah.
The local ladies team is back tonight. They took a long break for an international tournament kind of a thing. The gals are in Montreal tonight, 6 o'clock game time, televised on that Bally Sports North X3. And what else is going on? The NFL draft coming up, okay?
Yeah, next week.
I got an interesting
story.
story.
From today.
Is it a week from today?
Yep.
I'm so
round one is the week from today.
I couldn't be more excited.
Obviously. I can tell by your excitement.
Every year, I just come uncorked. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I can't eat. The NFL draft. Dump that in again somewhere, Cubby, because I think I love that guy. I put on the beads. I put on my Chris Hovan jersey. Whatever.
Oh man!
You'll go down to the Vikings watch party.
Oh yes!
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Give me that. What is that? A $17 beer to watch television? I'll take it.
Yes,
Chris
with
Hovan.
a bunch of other people who have like minds like you.
I've got my old faded Matthew Tate jersey.
What number was
Robert
Hovan?
Tate,
99?
Yeah.
99.
God, he was our bro back in the day. We used to hang out with him a lot.
What name did I just say?
Robert Tate, I think is what you meant to say.
Yeah, what
you said Matthew Tate.
I was getting Matthew.
Or did you say Matthew Hatchett?
Matthew, that's where I got confused.
Yeah.
Matthew Hatchett, 89.
Yes, there you go.
Robert Tate, 83.
There you go.
Anybody want a piece of me on Vikings jersey numbers real quick?
No,
we know not to come at the king.
That's right.
I got a funny little side story about the NFL draft. It's happening in Detroit. What are they, crazy? They got two birds racing around downtown Detroit. They planted them there a good month ago already. Two birds. They're some kind of scary, big, fat-ass bird. And they've been trained to chase away the small birds away from the city of Detroit so the buildings aren't covered in poop when everyone shows up for the NFL draft.
I didn't know that was a problem in Detroit.
I don't know.
Do we have that problem here?
I don't think so.
Talk about the
I've
birds,
never heard of that before.
Crashing into
I'm talking about like pigeons, keeping pigeons off of buildings.
They didn't mention the target birds in particular.
It just said smaller birds.
Smaller birds. They've got these two birds. They're evil. They've got big talons, and
they're evil. I've never heard of that in my life.
Two birds are just running around Detroit, scaring away all the little birds. So when everyone comes to town in a week, the place won't be covered in turds.
I've never heard of that.
Neither have I.
Ever. How in the world is that? Do they, if they find the little birds, do they kill them? What do they do?
The story makes it sound like they just scare them away.
Yeah.
But I bet there's some murder.
Bird know to scare her away?
I don't know. There's probably a lot of blood on the streets of Detroit.
Yeah.
Blood and feathers.
Bird blood and It's probably not as cutesy as it sounds. It's probably a very violent world they're living in right now.
That has to be a monstrous problem in order to hire two birds to go chase after the... What? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I wonder if, I don't know, maybe one of them's wearing a helmet cam or something and we can see... That'd be kind of cute, wouldn't it, Josh, if they hooked up those two killer birds with GoPros?
I'd like to see what, I mean, those eagle cams are so popular.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they are. I love eagle cams.
Randy used to stay awake for days staring at the eagle.
I love eagle cams. I do. I am a sucker to go down the rabbit hole when I come across an eagle cam on my phone.
They are fascinating.
Right, that's a hell of a story. I also have never heard anything like that.
I've never heard of that. It makes me wonder how many other cities have that issue. I'm sure, pigeons are so messy. I'm sure that's a problem in places, but I've never heard of them bringing in what kind of bird is it that they brought in?
It doesn't mention, Josh.
They called it a bird of prey.
A bird of prey.
People are texting in
like a hawk or something?
People are saying falcons.
Oh, that's sweet.
But yeah,
so are they trained falcons?
Yeah, they're trained. The birds are trained.
They're trained to kill. That's so
absolutely-
crazy.
They're assassins.
Have you guys ever seen my eagle? Yeah, I know. The only bird-related problem we have here in town is, don't we hear that the birds are committing suicide?
Yeah, they slam into the bank.
They slam into the new Metrodome.
Yeah.
And remember, Detroit is on a big body of water, right?
True.
So they get the gulls, I'm sure, everywhere.
Yeah.
And those things will pull a nipple off of you when you're not looking.
Absolutely.
People are saying that the same thing happens here. Minneapolis has trained falcons to keep pigeons away.
No way.
That is
I've never heard of that.
Really cool.
I didn't know that they had that here.
Let's get one of the Falcons on the air. We'll interview them, find out what the training process was like for them.
Let's get somebody that's in charge of that on. I've never heard of
that'd be
that,
great.
Ever.
What do you do? I mean, you just kind of send them off. Be gone, killer birds. Come back with carcasses. If you're the master or whatever, the trainer, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Is there a whistle that do the whistles go woo-woo? How do they?
Well, I hope they do.
How does the bird know when his shift is over and he comes back?
Exactly.
To your point, Dana, if we can get one of a falcon on, I hope it's Kirk Cousins.
Oh, man.
All right. Maybe we can.
He's wearing dad feathers.
Maybe we can make a phone call and get one of these bird people on.
People are saying the airport has them. Rochester has them.
Well, I can understand why the airport might have them, just because birds are an issue for planes coming and going.
Definitely.
Yeah, but right, of course, that makes sense.
But again, just to have these trained birds that keep away other. Bizarre.
Somebody just said there's a semi that takes out thunderbirds. I don't know what they, what they mean.
I know all about that.
You're familiar with that?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know what we could use by my house is we could use a couple of more coyotes. We've got the rabbits are out of control.
A lot of rabbits?
Yeah,
really.
I almost hit one every single day. Those rabbits, they just want to run out in front of you, I guess.
I got a lot of them in the yard.
Do you?
They're
More
fun.
than usual?
That's funny you say that, because they live such a solitary life. You know, how can there ever be more than one rabbit?
There's a lot of them.
What are you talking about?
I know.
What kind of? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're horn dogs. Those
Yes,
rabbits.
they are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought maybe you had a worse head injury than originally reported. Yeah, I like having the rabbits around. They go this way, they go that way. All right, Randy Shaver. What a hell of a couple days you've had.
Yeah, thank God you're okay. Seriously,
Yeah.
that's scary,
Well,
man.
I appreciate you giving me the patience not to be here yesterday, just to kind of give me a chance to get my life in order a little bit.
I mean, they did dock your pay, but of course you can take as much time as you need. Dude, what dicks they would be.
I'm not surprised, actually.
When you retire.
Yes.
I know you said that
I'd like to retire earlier than I planned after yesterday.
Yeah. we want you to retire in one piece. And you said that you're not having a party, and that's fine. we're still probably going to present you with some gifts when you retire. I'm going to get you a tank top that says 2024 694 bumper car champion.
I'm not so sure I'm the champion. But.
Well, you made it out alive. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Randy Shaver.
See ya.
And we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
Mike Carruthers shares little pieces of intel and interviews you can use to improve your life on the Something You Should Know podcast.
The next time you're looking for a job and have to write a cover letter, here's some advice from Skip Freeman, author of a book called Headhunters Hiring Secrets. Add a PS to the bottom of that cover letter. That can actually increase the chances of that letter being read by up to 75%. Some people actually glance down and read the PS first.
Something You Should Know. Search on YouTube or wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
What in the actual are you guys doing?
On 93X.
Here we are. I think my microphone's on now. We've made her to 8:31 on this here Thursday morning. You're a terrific crowd, and we're very thankful to have you. Let's see here. Uber. Boy, it's been a while since I found my drunk ass babbling to myself while riding in an Uber or a Lyft or just a good old-fashioned filthy taxi cab. I gotta say, I always really enjoyed riding in cabs and such.
I hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I suppose it's different as a woman.
Yeah, it's more of the fear aspect.
I enjoyed talking to the driver. I mean, sure, I had a couple of incidents where I was sure that I was going to die in a car wreck due to the incompetency of the driver.
Or intoxication in one story you've told
One
us.
time the taxi driver was twice as drunk as I was. Absolutely true story. But I had fun with it because we were only going a handful of blocks in the city. We weren't getting on the interstate. He and I had a great time, but the guy was drunker than I was. But yet normally I had a good time. Now, do you know why I haven't had to Uber at all the last couple of years?
Because you own a e-bike.
Oh, I didn't even consider that. Right, my Harley gets me to and from. Yeah, you're right.
Got your e-bike, e-scooter, right? Didn't you buy an electric scooter?
Yeah, I got a scooter. I usually only ride those vehicles on Sundays.
Oh, it's gotta be something to do with your friggin' wife.
For my Sunday drinking, I get on the bicycle / Harley. I get on the scooter. Wapple is right. The reason why I haven't taken any taxi rides lately is these days I've been drinking a lot with non-drinkers.
Oh.
So they're always willing to give you a ride. And
That's the way to go.
Like Wapple said, my friggin' wife, she don't drink much.
I've never been in, what do they call those? Ride share, right? Like an Uber or Lyft, anything like that. I've been in an actual taxi, like I've never been in the chillaxy, which I'd love to do. I've seen it around town. If I ever need a taxi again, I want to go in the chillaxy.
The chillaxy?
Yeah, the chillaxy.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, I saw that once after Josh brought it up, and I'm like, dude, there it goes.
Yeah.
And then I saw, what was a Good Vibes van.
Oh, I've seen that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen them with the good, okay. Ubers. You know what they did? Uber released a list of the most common and then a list of some of the uncommon things that people leave behind in their cars. I can't think that I've ever made that mistake. Then again, I don't carry much with me. As long as I got my key, wallet, can of snuff in the back pocket, I'm good to go.
The phone's got to be number one.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's not really ranked.
Oh, okay.
But let me see if it's on the list. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, there it is. The 11 most common things that Uber riders leave behind.
I left a towel in an Uber once.
You're a towel.
Were you? You are a towel.
Yeah, there's no doubt you're a towel.
Kind of a wet blanket, actually. Were you? Was it beach day, or why did you have a towel?
I know why she had a towel.
Oh, I hope it's
Why
not
do
for
you
that.
think? I bet you're wrong. No, when I was having stomach issues, the one thing that really helped was being in a body of water, so like being in a pool. And one time I didn't have my vehicle for some reason, and so I Ubered to the community center pool. And it was like 5 minutes away.
When your tummy would feel bad, you'd get in the community pool.
Yeah, something about like the confining pressure of the water, like pushing on your stomach, helps you feel better.
This.
Yeah,
My wife always says that if you got a bad tummy ache, take a bath.
Oh, it feels so good. Or like people always say, if you're on vacation and you're doing a lot of drinking, getting in the pool in the morning will fix your hangover.
Oh, a sauna.
Oh, that sounds like it would do the opposite.
No, you just sweat everything out.
I'm not
true.
jumping in a pool, nor am I getting in a sauna if I have a hangover.
Oh, I would.
All right, here are the most common things that Uber riders left behind the damn in the vehicle: clothing, luggage, headphones.
Oh, that would piss me off.
Your wallet.
Come on, wedding ring. Something scandalous.
Jewelry is on the list.
I left a wallet in an old school cab. This was pre-Uber in like 2009 or something like that, and it was after a night of drinking. I didn't recognize, know distinctly what cab company it was, so I just called one out of the blue, like red and yellow. I just looked at Minneapolis Taxi and said, "I think I might have left my wallet in one of your taxis last night," and it was a miracle of all miracles. The guy's like, "What's your name?" I told him my name. He goes, "Oh yeah, we got it right here, actually."
Oh, nice.
I was able to get it back. It was like, as I was calling, I'm like, this is a waste of time, but somehow, by the grace of God, I got it back.
Who here has vomited in a taxi cab? Go.
No.
Been present for it, but it wasn't my vomit.
I vomited in a vehicle, and I was ashamed. And so then I got in another vehicle and vomited into that one as well, and I was even more ashamed.
And weren't both
But never-
vehicles stationary?
Yes, they were. But they were both about to leave someplace.
Sure.
Yeah, never in a taxi or anything.
All right, clothing, luggage, headphones, wallets. Here's jewelry. Very common item left behind in the Uber. Cellular telephones, cameras. Is this a misprint? Did they mean to say tablets? Because the next on the list is tables.
Yeah, I think they meant tablets.
I forgot my whole dining room table in the Uber.
Well, I can see, Wapple, you having one in case you want to jump through it in a wrestling match or something like that.
Books.
Dana have one for the Bills Mafia.
People leave books in there. Laptops. And vape rods.
Oh, I bet vape rods for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been out drinking.
And the story goes on to say that it is surprising that keys, backpacks, and watches didn't fall into the 11 most common things that riders left behind in their Uber. I guess you're just going to have to get over it. No,
The watch doesn't surprise me. I mean, usually that's attached to your body, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be like if your belt all of a sudden came off.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you take off a watch but if you're going to dish a handy. Uber also shared some weird things that people left behind. Weird things. They found a toupee.
That's a bummer for whoever left that.
Found a toupee in the... And by the way, that reminds me, Josh, we got to look into those new glue-on hairdos. Maybe we need one for the summer.
Hey, I would wear one.
So would I.
The ones we were talking about not too long ago that look so realistic, I would definitely wear one of those.
Those are you would never know the difference.
No.
Here's an interesting combination of items left behind in an Uber. Hot sauce and a breathalyzer.
I could see myself leaving hot sauce in an Uber.
Do you still have purse cheese?
I have purse hot sauce, emergency hot sauce.
Okay, I thought you carried around cheese for a while.
I did for a while, yeah. I always had some cheese sticks on me.
But now it's hot sauce.
Yes.
Somebody left behind 2 containers with spiders in them.
What? Heck no.
Why are you transporting that? Why do you have that?
Someone left behind their meat pie.
Oh, you know what?
Have you seen my meat pie?
I would love to try meat pie.
Last thing I
What
remember.
exactly is a meat pie?
I'll show you a friggin' meat pie.
Is it just exactly what I assume?
Yes, it is.
It's not what I'm imagining. A ceramic cat. Someone left behind their ceramic cat. And a jar of oysters.
Oh,
That could get brutal how long it's been in there.
yeah. Do oysters travel well? I don't think they do.
Dana and I are going to get together. He's going to learn all about oysters and meat pie.
Oh, boy.
Someone left behind a candle that says, "See you in court."
That's funny.
Cute gift, I would imagine, amongst people who maybe lawyers.
Or I wonder if it's like that somebody served you with that. You know, here you go, douchebag. Here's a creative way to say, "I'll see you in court."
Yeah, here are the papers and your complimentary candle. We'll see you in court.
Somebody left behind their pet turtle. Poor bastard.
Yeah, really.
Someone left a burrito steamer in the, how do you call it, the Uber? A burrito steamer.
Can't go to the party. They'll bring your burrito steamer with you.
They left behind some garlic butter. They left behind their framed Taylor Swift autograph.
Oh, no.
Oh, that could be worth some money.
I bet.
What the hell is a fart sensor? Someone left a fart sensor in the damn Uber.
I don't know, but...
Look it up on the internet.
I have one. It's called my nose. And you can throw my ears in there, too.
Someone look up a fart sensor and find out how much they are.
Well, I had to look up burrito steamer earlier, and what popped up would be the wrap warmer. It looked like that's kind of what it was.
Oh, okay.
It's like you're bringing your own Chipotle in Uber.
We're not done yet with the odd items that have been left behind in the Uber. The folks over there, they coughed this list up so we can have some fun with it. They do it every year. A foam sign that says hashtag best day ever. That was left behind on purpose.
Good.
I didn't even think about how many of these might have been left behind on purpose. I'm not going to be seen getting out of an Uber with a foam sign that says hashtag best day ever.
No.
Someone left behind their fake butt.
Oh.
What do you mean a fake butt?
You can get like they're kind of like a pair of underwear in a way, and they have like pads in the back.
Sure.
Fake butt implants.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. I have heard. Did anyone else find out what a fart sensor is?
I can't find one, but I found an old fart detector.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I found too.
What'd
It's
they say?
a gag gift. You set it on a table. Anytime somebody walks by, it goes off and says like "fart detected, fart detected."
Yeah.
That sounds like a riot.
That does sound fun.
I mean, all night long. It would never get old.
No, I want one now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a place that sells them.
Ashley, someone left behind their thong underwears in the stinking Uber.
It wasn't me.
You're not chucking those around anymore, right?
No,
You
I've
stopped
matured. Yes.
A paternity test was left in the vehicle.
Well, who was the father?
Yeah.
You are.
Oh,
You
no.
are the father.
And someone left behind their WWE Championship belt.
Oh, that would be
Dude,
heartbreaking.
No, that's going to be expensive, too.
Because if I was the Uber driver, I would keep that for myself. What belt? I didn't see a belt.
Yep.
What was one of those go for? Like, we've got a super cheap plastic one, but if you want one that looks legit, you see those people walking around.
$400.
$400?
Even more for some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
It's like up to like $800-900 for some like the really nice ones.
Yeah, I think you can get the money in the case briefcase for $200.
It's so ridiculous. It's just a briefcase that says money in the bank on it.
Those cab drivers, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers. I bet they see a lot of action.
I have a friend who's hooked up with a couple of Uber drivers.
How does that work out?
What do you mean?
She gets a ride home, and the guy's good looking. She asks if he wants to come in.
Oh,
Wow.
I was talking, and that's awesome, by the way. But I was talking about, watching people pair off and molest each other in the back of the vehicle. I bet they see a lot of cheating. That's so exciting.
Oh, yeah. You could like listen in on people's conversations too.
What's the furthest you've ever gone in a taxi cab? Go.
Hand stuff.
Oh, that's gross. What are you, some kind of animal? You can't wait till you get home?
Only kissing. Every guy that I've had in like an Uber or a taxi, they're like, no.
Oh my God. My answer's a lot more boring. I was going to say 30 miles is the furthest I've ever gone in the taxi.
Yeah, until Dana answered, I thought that's what he meant as well.
Well, I knew that's not what he meant, but I don't have a sexual experience in a taxi.
People do stuff in the taxi. They do.
What was that old HBO show, Taxi Cab Confessions?
Watched it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd never seen it. I've seen the promos for it.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
There was
like
some
Cash Cab too.
Heck yeah.
that friggin' show got old within about 10 minutes, but HBO Taxi Cab Confessions, man, that was disturbing.
Was it really?
It was disgusting.
Do you think it was made up, or do you think that did it seem maybe a little of both?
I like to believe I'm a fair judge, and I took most of it as pretty legit stuff. It was hilarious. It was hot. It was gross. Depending on the episode, that was a great show. Great show.
Barefooted Jeep Hair Jesus got some hand stuff in the taxi, and he does go on to say he was alone.
Gross.
Struck out again.
A lot of fun to be had. I've had some real adventures, good and bad, in the back of those taxi cabs.
One of the funniest guys I ever met was a taxi driver leaving a Twins game. That dude was absolutely, probably maybe that was a tactic for him. We'll just keep driving around, ring it up, whatever, I'll pay.
You were drunk?
No, I wasn't.
I'm kidding. Anyone, the listener wants to know, anyone on the cast here taking a ride on the Bang Bus?
No, I've heard what they do on that
I
thing.
want to go on the Bang Bus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It's a complete crap.
That's the end of that, huh?
Yeah, that was a quick one.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Here we are, back on the Half-Assed Morning Show. We were talking about adventures we've had in cabs, Ubers, Lyfts, whatever the hell you want to call it. Uber put out a list of all the common and uncommon items that people have left behind over the last year in their motor vehicles. I was saying that Uber drivers, exciting gig. I mean, you probably get tired of driving. You get tired of traffic. You get tired of a lot of things with that gig. But you get to see some exciting stuff in the back now and again. Ooh-wee. Cheaters, this and that. You guys want to hear the 10 things that cheaters claim they'd never cheat on? Now, the first question is, well, how the hell can we trust them?
Yeah.
How do we know if they're being honest? The 10 things that cheaters claim they'd never cheat on. Ashley Madison, you know that setup, Josh. You used to be a member.
Still am. My wife is too. That's where we met. We talked to that guy when Ashley Madison first started. If you're not familiar, that's the website people go on when they are actively looking to cheat on their spouse.
Right.
And do you remember what he said? We were curious about the name. Like, Ashley, what does that mean? Is that a person? I guess the year he created it was the 2 most popular names for girls. He just went with it, Ashley Madison.
There you go.
But when that first came out, we talked to the founder.
Yeah, it was a big deal for a while there.
Well, that's a long time ago. The cheating site Ashley Madison asked the cheaters who are members on their website the other things they'd be less likely to cheat on. Sure, they'll go behind their significant other's back and get a piece, but they're not going to cheat on... What, are you crazy? For example, 87% of them claim they were honest a few days ago on tax day. They'd never cheat on their taxes.
Yeah, there's some serious repercussions there.
Yeah. Your story alone, Josh, makes me terrified to even fudge anything, even just by a small amount.
Yeah, there's serious repercussions. Josh went through hell.
I did, and
when
it
he
was
accused of cheating.
Well,
on
no,
his...
I wasn't. It was a random audit.
Sorry, a random audit.
Yeah, I wasn't accused of cheating. It was just a random audit. I got the luck of the draw, and it lasted 2 years. A lot of things, the IRS, they admit, hey, this has gotten ridiculous. It lasted forever, and I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I hadn't cheated on it, nothing. But that was a pain, just going through that. And, of course, even though I knew I didn't do anything wrong, or at least knowingly anything wrong, it was still terrifying. The whole thing was just scary.
I gotta say, yeah, sure, there's serious repercussions to cheating on your taxes, but there's serious repercussions to cheating on your significant other also, because they might come at you with a knife.
Yeah.
That just took me back to the lyrics from that old Cinderella song, Somebody Save Me. I'll get it. There's a great line. I love that line in the song. When I was a young boy, only getting older. Put your money in a big house. Get yourself a pretty wife. She'll collect your life insurance when she comes at you with a knife. Somebody Save Me, Cinderella, Night Songs, 1986. All right. More than anything, these cheaters who answered this survey on Ashley Madison about the things they'd be less likely to cheat on, they sound kind of boring. They really do. 90% would feel worse about cheating on their favorite sports team than they would feel about cheating on their significant other.
That would bother me.
What would bother you?
If I found out that my wife, she'd never cheat on the Vikings, but she would on me, her husband, in 16 years.
I'll never root for the Packers, but I will hook up with his best friend.
Yeah.
That would really bother me.
Yeah.
I'll take a beach from my secretary, but I'm not going to root for the Blackhawks. What am I, nuts? 90% of these cheaters would feel worse about cheating on a test. A test? Everybody cheats on a test now and again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't like these people or I really dig their style. I can't decide yet that they look at cheating on their significant other as such a insignificant thing. I think I love them, Josh. I think I do love these people. 89% said they'd feel worse about cheating on their therapist. What?
Why are you dating your therapist? You're not supposed to be dating your therapist.
I think that's frowned upon.
86% of them would never cheat on their chosen political party.
Oh, shut up.
They'd never cheat on their regular coffee order. Do you see what I mean?
What's wrong with you?
Cheaters used to be fun people. Now they're talking about coffee and politics. They'd never cheat on their preferred fitness club. Their favorite.
I wish I was in a financial bracket where I could have a preferred fitness club.
Yeah.
My financial bracket is I pick the cheapest one.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, they'd never cheat their favorite shoe brand, their favorite phone carrier, their favorite takeout place, their barber or hairstylist, and their diet. But they'll go behind the shed with any old person and get a little action.
It's a little weird. Although, Dana, you cheated on your favorite football team. Would you feel you cheated on your favorite football team? Growing up as a Vikings fan, you moved on to the Bills. Would you cheat on the Bills?
No.
What if they took a dump?
I don't care. I'm Bills for life at this point.
Bills for life at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so
What's
annoying.
the difference? Out of curiosity.
I don't know. It's hard to explain, really. It just kind of came to me at a time in my life where I really needed something to be happy about, and the Bills made me very happy.
Should have cheated.
Or did you? Maybe you did.
On what, the Vikings?
No, on the wife.
Oh, no, I never cheated on the wife.
Needed a little excitement in your life, you should have got a side piece. Instead of spending $1,800 on Buffalo Bills memorabilia every football season. Look, I got this guy's jersey and that guy's jersey. Look.
So all the time she cheated on you, you never cheated on her once? Not even once?
Not even once.
You're a hell of a guy.
I know.
You know who would never cheat on this morning show? Licensed therapist Jesus. And we'll never cheat on you, bro. Never once.
It feels good to hear such things. We got to go.
We do. Got a couple shout-outs before we get out of here, though. Cubby's real father, Jesus, texted in to let us know his son, Cubby, took his first steps yesterday. That is a game changer when you look around and go, where did the baby go? Forever, you could just leave the baby there and the baby's still there. But
Be there when you get back
when you
from the
take
bar.
your eye off for a second and the kid's down the hall. Happy 18th to Kaylee on her golden birthday from Dad, Park Wrecker Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.